Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 208 of Beer and Other Shit, the podcast Adjunct series. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to the county this evening for a long overdue follow-up with these two gentlemen. This brewery has, honestly gone from strength to strength over the last few years. We haven't had them on for 2.5 years, which is kind of ridiculous, but I've seen the boys a lot, so that makes it even weirder, and I apologize. We should have had them back, but it's pretty cool because I feel like these guys were super hyped in the beginning, and they absolutely, aggressively more than lived up to it. And it's been so cool seeing them grow and collab, and people get psyched about their releases. And I'm going to places and I see folks wearing the merch. I don't know, it's very cool to me. And they just tonight we're going to talk about a really cool series of drops, which they actually do all year anyway, but this one is super special. That I haven't seen anything quite like this before, so this one's gonna be super fun, and have a feeling we might get a little rowdy. So I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring this in. Let's make sure I do this nice and smooth. All right, we put that there. What we're gonna do, we're gonna hit this one right here, and we're gonna go, guys, please welcome. Oops, I'm gonna switch that over. We're gonna go Ryan, we're gonna go Rob, of all my friends in the building. Welcome. Great to see your faces, boys.
Nice.
Hey, good to see you too.
Oh, I bet it is. Even though I saw you guys, was it Saturday? No, the weekend before last.
It's been like a week and a half, I think.
Yeah, fuck. Everything's just blending in, right? Summertime. Summer. It's bonkers. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. Once again, as I said in the beginning, sorry for not having you guys on sooner. This is a little ridiculous, but we're rectifying it now, God damn it. And we're going to do it more often in future. So, you guys recently did a super cool thing. You guys tell us about it. We're going to kick off with one of the first beers from this one, at least on my side, and you guys can tell us about it. This is a Tropique, the collab with Sir John, which is a part of a 5 beers, all collaborating with breweries from Quebec, Nos Amis Québécois, which is fucking cool. I've never seen anybody do anything like that before. So could you guys, first of all, tell me about the beer, and then we'll get into the whole concept.
Yeah, Rob, if you want to handle the beer, I can do the other stuff.
Pretty much the whole concept was let's collab with some of our favorite Quebecois guys, and of course the boys over in at Sir John there were an absolute must to reach out to, and we did the one for their anniversary there a couple months ago, and then
what was that one?
Oh, that was an IPA. That was a double IPA. I can't think of the name.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, because I grabbed those two. Yeah, I forget. It wasn't the Serpentine one, was it? That was Meso, I think.
No, I think that was it. Just to give Rob a little backup, I sometimes forget our own beers because we put out a bunch of them. Yeah. And so sometimes the names, it takes me a minute. Someone mentions it. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, we did make that one. Fucking rad. That was a good beer.
Going down for the brew day for that one when we actually got there for about 8 or 9 in the morning for that one. And got to see the mashing and everything. I don't think we had the name picked at the time.
Okay.
But just to see the boys and how they do stuff different, the Ontario scene is one thing, but once you get over to the Quebec guys, Serpentine, that's completely right.
Honestly, that was my favorite beer of the whole lot. It was spectacular. It was so good.
Oh, nice.
Love that beer, man. Great. Okay, so this is now the flip side of it, which is kind of perfect.
Use some. Honestly, we have a lot of Mosaic Cryo that we absolutely fell in love with, so we've been punching that in with some stuff. This one, based pretty much off of slightly how they some of their processes combined with some of ours for this one. So it's always good to mix stuff around like that when they're getting together with these guys, but absolute banger, that one. You have to try it to find out.
I think the the overall of this event, just don't want to get too far, but we love beer and we open a brewery because we love getting to try everybody's beer, and like ever since starting the brewery, we work a lot. We're stuck at the brewery a lot. We don't get on the road. We don't get to travel, and but we do have a lot of awesome visitors from Quebec, and they always bring us little sips and samples, and you know, I think with all of our other collabs, you can see we've done a good job of forcing everybody with a brewery in Ontario to be our friend and hang out with us. And we wanted to extend our circle and bring them in a little bit and kind of have more friends, I guess.
I love it, which is couldn't be more on brand. I love it.
Well, that's why we got into that's one of the big things. Everybody in craft beer loves trying different craft beer, and we're no different as brewery owners. We love craft beer. We love getting to try new shit. When a new brewery opens up, it's really fun to get to try their stuff and check out what they're doing, and then meeting them and kind of seeing where their mind's at. For us, it's like no different than, you know, think of the homebrew clubs, the craft beer clubs, all the people who you know do a group order and share beer. You know, like we're doing the same thing, but we're doing it as a brewery. Like we want to be friends with everybody. We want to learn from everybody. We want to, you know, pass on what we learn to other people. You know, that's the whole jam, right?
Dude, it's perfect. It's exactly, and that's exactly what I experienced when I went in there and we were chilling with Rob. Rob was chilling with, there was a couple other dudes that was there. I think Connor from Slake was there, and you were just busting out all this like Commonwealth brewery from Virginia. And I hadn't had that in years, and it was exactly that. Just sharing some beers, drinking your stuff after we just did our collab, which we can talk about too.
That's the thing. Afternoons at the taproom, you can have all the boys roll through. You know, guys from Slake, Prince Eddie's, the local guys. And then
which is great.
All the beers from out of town that get dropped off. So, you know, we get to indulge in other people's stuff and
get inspired.
Which is beautiful. I love it. So just to confirm, this has Citra Cryo, Mosaic, Hyper Boost, and Moteco.
Yes. So yeah. Oh, sorry, it was Citra Cryo that I meant.
The Citra Cryo, yeah. This is a banger, boys. So this is a 6.5. This is my money zone personally. This is fantastic. Did the so this is Sir John. Did those guys come down for the collab for this one?
This one, no. We worked on the recipe together. We did the collab at their place, but then we met them up in Toronto there just before Brew Day there. So they were at the BAOS festival. So that was
and they came down for packaging. Remember we were running the late canning day for the BreWskey collab, and they were helping with the canning day. Remember that on Thursday?
Yeah, they did come down. Oh, I totally forgot.
Those guys are so much fun, man. Like they're great dudes to hang out with. We had a fucking blast.
Who came down? Was it Max, Simon, Joel?
I think Simon and Max.
Simon, Max. Okay.
No, Joel.
Those are like
there for
Joel. Okay.
Yeah, Joel's always zipping around. He's got a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, Max saved the day at our event. They lent us like a jockey box with like 4 taps, and they weren't pouring, and not everyone knew how to do it. And Max was just kind of working the whole time, like making sure it was flowing and fixing it. That guy's a fucking legend, man.
Yeah, that's because we had our collab on that tap.
Yes.
And, it was said sold out there for a minute, and we were like, "What is going on?"
I was like, "It can't possibly have." It was a full keg.
Yeah. The event's
which is bonkers
session. What's going on?
Yeah,
he got figured out.
He got it going. So yeah, that's awesome that they came down for it, and that you guys got to see him at least at the event. So this is awesome. This beer is bright, tropical, cream, exactly as what I would expect from an All My Friends beer. It's a banger. And this one, go on, right?
Oh, I just want to say that, like, I wish Bill wasn't so tired, but I'm going to speak on his behalf. Bill has really been getting into the hop selection lately. Like he'll spend hours and hours and hours. Like he keeps notes on which lots are which are good. He'll even sometimes like he'll find a comment.
We know what lots are available to us at the warehouse, so we can kind of pick and select what we want based on that. So
yeah, Bill gets excited. He'll lay out the hops
like for the aroma notes.
But he'll lay out the bags kind of like laying out Rob's clothes in the morning. He like lays out, because these are the ones we got to use. These are gonna be sick in this beer. This is gonna be great. And you can see the excitement in his eyes. So I wish that he was on, because you guys would be able to capture excited Bill.
I love that laying out the hops like cloves. That's fucking awesome, dude. I haven't seen that. That's super fun. Remind me. So just so people know, so Rob, are you like the head brewer? Is that the main?
Yes, I do all the production side of stuff.
Okay.
Like Bill himself, he has like his passes, that kind of stuff, but
okay.
we have him taking care of more of the back end overall management of the company. And then,
understood, like admin, all that stuff.
Yeah,
but also he gets involved in the brewing side, clearly. With
he helps out here and there.
Okay,
he's involved a little bit in everything, I think.
Okay, perfect. And then Ryan, you're doing sales and kind of like I feel like you're like the brand ambassador or the face of the company.
I mostly just talk and hang out and drink beer. And drive. I drive a lot, like I drive.
Like a ton. And I can attest to your talking. Me and Nate pulled up the day before our event at Blood Brothers to drop off beer. And who do we see out the front? I'm taking a piss and I get a call from Ryan. He's like, yo, where are you? Come outside. And I was like, yo, give me a sec. And you were sitting there. I thought you were with friends and they were just random people at a table that you were just like chatting up, but it looked like you guys were all there together. It was I feel like it was a textbook Ryan.
I had a very long day. I was exhausted, and all I wanted to do was drink a really good beer. And I was like, as I'm going, I'm at the corner by Blood Brothers. I'm like, yep. So I just stopped. I pulled in. I sat at the table, and I just stared straight ahead. And I can't do that for more than 5 minutes before I make friends. So I made a couple of friends while doing it, and sat and had beers with them. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Like once again, it's on brand, but it's also like it's so key that there's someone from a brewery who's out there all the time. Like Rob, if you're like chained to the back type of thing, and you got to take care of that, it's great that there's someone in the company who loves doing that, and they can talk to people, and not only because you got to sell, so you're talking to licensees and all that type of stuff, and getting the products out there, and then obviously chatting up the people, letting them know what's going on, and like, I wish you could measure that impact. It would be so sick to see what that actually did for the company.
You know what? Like it, I don't think you can measure it, but you can see it, right? Like, and it's for all of us too. It's like, we're always around the brewery. We worked the tap room for the first for 3 years straight, and probably back in there again, odd days here and there. And, each one of us talk to customers, and like, when I'm working today, I'll have people come in who are like, we were here yesterday or last year. I mean, we talked to your brewer. He was so awesome. We talked about beer for like an hour. He gave me some tips on home brewing, and so as much as you can't really measure it, but you definitely see it. You see it every day.
I like that. The more qualitative feedback, but it's still really meaningful because you sort of
absolutely
you don't have data on a page, but you're hearing it and you're seeing the look in people's face that you can't measure, which is even cooler because 100%. They've had that experience. Which I see. I love it, man. So to touch on this before I want to catch up, obviously what's been happening the last couple of years, but this Nos Amis Québécois is such a cool concept. So Ryan, you were telling Nate and I about it at that time at Blood Brothers, and it sounded incredible. So do you guys want to maybe just explain the concept, how it came together?
So man, like Ontario, Quebec have some amazing beers, and I always felt like I think that I went to Messorem a couple months after it opened and just being blown away. And the county's a like a big tourist destination for folks from Quebec. They love the outdoors, they love good food, they love good drink, and honestly, it's wonderful to have customers that come in that are really excited about beer. And so they have construction week there in Quebec. I think it's a week or two, and it's we thought, wouldn't it be great to come up with some beers and collab with some of their hometown favorites, so that we can kind of give them a little touch of home, and also just kind of show them how much we really respect and are influenced by the beer that comes from Quebec. And so we came up with that idea, and honestly, we reached out to some of our favorite breweries and like got a really good return, and got to do, we made 5 calls and got five collabs, which is friggin' wild. So, that's the concept. We just really wanted to, and we wanted to bring up our inspiration and introduce them to some of our clients, some of our customers from Quebec or from Ontario, Toronto, all over the place. And, a couple Americans across the border come up, and, it was just a really good opportunity to introduce friends to friends, I guess.
I love that. That's sick, man. It's cool that I really feel the same from from the Quebec folks that I speak to. They are really excited about your beer. You guys were like really, because I was still, when you opened, I was still, what, you guys are 3, about to turn 3, or you just turned 3? No, you did the 3 at
Just
third
turned
anniversary.
A little over 3. You were in Montreal, I think, still whenever we started.
Oh yeah, I think I was right before I moved, like within a couple of
Yeah.
months. So even when I was there, it was because I remember drinking your beers. I saw they came up in my Facebook memories of my little beer photos, drinking your stuff in Montreal, and even I was surprised that it was then. I thought I'd moved here already, but I remember them. Like people were amped about it because of exactly what you said. I know a lot of people out there who go to the county, love the county, go there every year. So to have a brewery of your caliber there, obviously there's some phenomenal breweries there already, but there was nobody doing the styles that you guys do, which obviously is haze heavy. And that's what a lot of the, those type of drinkers in Montreal didn't really have that in the county. So I know people were just fucking amped about this. So that's why I love this idea, because it's really like speaking to them and also showing that like paying homage to the Quebec scene that obviously influenced you guys and that you guys are obviously friends with. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're friends now, I guess. Like, it.
Did you not know any of them?
We like kind of knew them in passing, and well, it's kind of funny. It's like the Willow Ball Purple. I really love it. And I used to, every time I'd pass by Willow Ball, I'd like detour on my trip and stop in and get some, and then always drop beer and introduce myself and like kind of be a bit of a fanboy, bit of a Goomba. But like, yeah, we just introduced ourselves, man. Like we all have the same influences, I guess, and. Heck, I think I talked to Guillaume from Ketch every 3 days for the last 2 weeks now, because we became Facebook friends, and we like to chat about what we're drinking and what's going on and music and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a fucking really nice guy, man. He's a really solid dude.
Such a good fucking guy, and he loves what he's doing. And he is one of the. I was so happy to see that Ketch were on, which I think is probably the next beer we're going to have anyway. That he was on the list. Because he was the like, I discovered him through his collab with Badlands. I saw that and I'm like, oh, who are these guys? And Troy's like, I don't really know, man. They sent some beer and it was fantastic, so we did the collab. And I was talking to Nate, and Nate was like, oh, like really? Like because his parents-in-law are from out that way. So he said they were just kind of like a, just a local seaside brew pub type of thing that wasn't doing anything crazy. So then the next time he went out to see his parents-in-law, he was like, oh my fucking God, this is incredible. And now but if it wasn't for that collaboration, it put them on my radar. And I think that's what this is going to do for a lot of people out here, is put some of these Quebec breweries on their radar, just like you guys working with them. I think there's so much value in these collabs. So I think it's cool that now you've become mates after not doing that. And Guillaume does come out here, so he'll come out for the collab, chuck some fucking honey in a beer and stuff. I think that is going to keep that going. I don't know. I feel like, as someone who's not from Canada, lived in both provinces, like previously people weren't really looking. They were just sort of heads down working. They weren't really like collaborating. So that's why I particularly loved it. This one speaks to me a lot. When you were telling me about it, Ryan, I was like, fuck, this is such a genius idea.
Well, that's how the beer gets better, I think. And like, I think I always say, I'm like, I love to get Rob. Rob's really. Can you mute him for a sec there? Like, Rob's a really smart dude, incredibly talented dude, and I find that when he gets into conversations with other smart brewers and people who know what they're doing, they talk about ideas and things that I can't understand at all. And they get into things and get into ideas and concepts, and next thing we know that the next beer that we make is it's better and better and better, because I think that's how the industry grows. Is we don't guard our secret as if like like our precious little ring, like Lord of the Rings. We share it, because if one of us makes a better beer, we all kind of benefit, because all of our beer is going to get better, and we start bringing more people into drinking craft beer, and seeing that we're not just a niche, we're welcoming thing that anybody can get into. So
I love that, man. That's exactly what it is. It's beautiful. I like as well that you guys are learning from that, particularly if they're able to come to the brew day, or vice versa, if you're going from that and sharing all that info and not like gatekeeping it, which is I think it's relatively common. Have you guys heard? Well, obviously you don't have to go too deep in that, but I'm just curious. Is that like something that you see a lot, that people maybe aren't as forthcoming with some of their approaches or things like that?
No.
I haven't seen it, but I think how aggressive we are at just wanting to reach out and do stuff. Like I'm sure the community's been good, but like for us, our community has grown real. Like our community of brewers and friends and breweries that we work with has just grown so quick that it's wild the number of people we get to chat with and talk with and be involved with, and I think that's like the same with any community. It takes everybody has to just put a little effort and work at it. But I don't think anybody's been gatekeeping. I think it's just everybody's busy. We're all trying to stay above water and get people interested. And the idea of adding more to your plate seems counterproductive.
Yeah, good point. But also something like this does do exactly what you just said. Gets people interested. It gets people excited about beer. And that's like, I don't know. I feel like it's these little things that that's what people were saying to us about our event that was getting people excited. There was the Flow Fest that we saw you guys at from Counterpart the other week. There's on Saturday, there's Freestyle Fest at Willowball that's getting people excited. Like there's the anniversaries, you guys' anniversary. Third Moons was pop and Badlands is on Saturday as well. Like all of these different events that are kind of like feels like an event, feels like something special that you need to kind of go and participate in and be there and see people in real life and vibe. I don't know. I feel like that's what's holding craft beer together right now. I think it's awesome. And it's cool that you guys are doing it. And on top of that, the other thing I think is great that I don't know where it all started. I don't know who's the originator of like the drops, where meaning that like you guys do your anniversary, you do Friendsgiving, and the Canadian Thanksgiving, and was there another one that you did? You do another one too. Oh,
we do the Turktacular. Yeah, I think that it wasn't like we're not marketing geniuses. We didn't think that out like in a crazy strategic plan. People love the terpene beers. We're like, we got to do that. We got to do like a bunch more because people friggin' love that. Yeah, and then our anniversary, it's like we made it another year. We got to celebrate that. Quebecois, like they have their construction week. We got to celebrate that. And then, and Friendsgiving's kind of like an end of season thing. It's just like everybody's getting together and, we want to have some cool beers to drink on our Thanksgiving too. So they just kind of all accidentally happen, man. Like it just and they're all fun. I think we have fun doing it.
Oh, it's hella fun. It's the best. And one of the things you told me actually, which I thought was so cool, is that you specifically chose the Friendsgiving so as not to step on Third Moon's Halloween drop, because they do theirs as well, because you guys obviously are all good friends. And I think that's really good for beer, because when it's all like I think the best/worst 2 months of the year is April, May for beer. I don't know how you guys feel, but as the consumer, it's overwhelming as fuck, because your anniversary's there, Third Moon's anniversary, Sankiem. I think Counterparts is there in early. There's like, and then we had our event in there, and there was just like, oh my god, there's just everything's overflowing. It's so much. So I like.
Are you doing that? You're doing that event again next year, right? Of course, right?
Hell no. Imagine. Kill me right now. It was fun as fuck. We'll talk about that in a sec in the collab. But it's like, I think it's so cool that you guys do the ones that are spread out. And I think that's what there kind of needs to be. Like, there needs to be a break in like the lull, but then something to get excited about. And like, you guys have really done that and done it really uniquely. Like, you've picked three, just aside from the anniversary, those three things, the Turktacular, the Quebecois, and the Friendsgiving are so unique concepts. Like you said, it's not the first, you're not the first ones to do it, but they're interesting, they're themed, they are give someone to be excited about at different periods of the year to sort of balance things out and sort of like really want to get them all, like, however many drops. This was 5, right, for the Quebec one?
Yeah, you betcha.
So it's Meso collab, Le Ketch, Sir John, BreWskey,
and Bad Bones.
And Bad Bones. Fuck yes. I mean, like, that's a heavy hitter lineup. It's beautiful. And I think that's like, I don't know. I love it so much. I think it's awesome. Aside from Sir John, which obviously you guys did the collab with them for their anniversary, their plans. Oh, you just did one with Badlands that you're drinking right now, Rob.
I am. Bad Friends.
And that was like a month. Yeah, grab that. That was like a month or so ago, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think he usually has a date.
End of June.
End of June. Okay. And I think. Oh, and you just did a collab with Meso, yeah? You went there.
Yep, and then we just did the one at Willibald.
Fuck yeah, which we're gonna get to after. What'd you guys do on the
Willibald, Sir John.
Yep.
We have Badlands. What else do we have coming out?
I don't know. I drank about 3 or 4 of those. I drank 3 or 4 of those Willibald collabs there on the weekend. I got to say they did a really good job.
Oh, Sticky, yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
and they sent us that New Zealand Pilsner that they did for the Freestyle Fest.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really good.
Okay, yeah. So I'm excited for that. What a cool concept. We'll get to that as well. Okay, sick. So you guys went to Willibald. You did one with them called Sticky. Is that out? That's out now? Or that's for the fest?
Sticky Icky? It's out now. Yeah.
Sticky Icky. Yeah.
And is that a terp beer?
I might have one. Maybe I tried
it is. It's definitely a terp beer. Yeah, we helped them source some terpenes legally. It was great.
Yeah, we have.
It's all very legal.
We have became very known for these terpene beers, which we are very okay with. But yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Let's talk about reaching out all over asking about them.
Oh, it's the fucking best. Like of the breweries that do them, so there's you guys, Third Moon, Willibald, Blood Brothers, Rorschach. Maybe you might be missing one. Wood Brothers do them as well. I feel like you guys have hung your hat on it the strongest. I don't think anyone would kind of disagree with that. And the fact, obviously, the Terptacular thing, which we were honored to participate in with this little gem here, Chemistry, which...
Oh, yes.
I like to say no bias, but it's all bias. This is my favorite terpene beer.
That was amazing.
It's
crazy.
Isn't it
I've already... I picked that. I love that art. I've held on to that one for a little while, and it was the perfect spot to use it too.
So now we talked about this for ever since the OG BB Kush came out. We talked about these this 420 drop and talking about the stouts and talking about the sour. And it's like, oh, we gotta outdo ourselves next year. So
I got the okay from Bill for. I had a really good idea how we can what we can do for next year, and it's gonna be friggin' rad. I can't say yet. Maybe I'll tell you outside of the podcast. But
when we take a piss, you can tell me on the piss break.
I've got some great friggin' ideas for that one. It's gonna be really cool.
I'm excited. And just to express on that. So for this drop, this was so creative. So this one that we did, Chemistry, was a 6.5% terpene IPA, New England style. Same deal, but double IPA with Blood Brothers, the BB Kush, which you'd done before. The brownie, weed brownie stout with Sever, which was fucking crazy. On paper, a lot of these shouldn't work, and they were out of control. You had gummies, like weed gummies, which is your
that was awesome.
Sours, yeah.
That was impeccable. And was there one more, or was there those 4?
And we did
4.
It was just 4. Yeah.
No, it was just 4. It was so creative. It was so sick. I loved it. It was a phenomenal execution on that one, and just like the other styles. Like even I loved ours the most because that's how I like the terpene beers. Exactly. It was so punchy in the face. It was so hectic. But I learned over time, I feel like the body of a New England, and I don't know, 6.5 is my money zone. That's why I really fuck with this one right here that we're drinking. It holds the terpenes really well. I've had them in different styles, like whether it's lagers or because Kanawaki did a lager, they're all good. They're all really nice. But I think it needs a bit more to hold the terpenes. I don't know what the terminology might be.
Sure.
Maybe
that was it. Sense? To be honest, when we because the original BB Kush, that was a collab with Blood Bros, and Dustin actually came down for that brew day. And while the beer was going, we are actually sitting at the bar dosing different IPAs and double IPAs with different terpene samples.
Okay.
Trying to find out which one was best. And not only that is, we're trying the lighter body stuff or the, sweeter style ones. And really figured out the best dosage for it that way. But yeah, big shout out to Blood Bros. They were definitely involved in helping us kick that one off.
Get them like reaching out and giving us the opportunity to kind of showcase some of Rob's creativity and some of the cool stuff. Yeah, we can't say thank you enough. That's awesome.
Especially that was over the tap, so that's our first time getting invited to an event like that. So it's like, let's definitely go over the top for this one. So
100%.
Oh, it's perfect. And even your one was also, so this collab chemistry was also perfect because it coincided with our event, so we were able to have that at the event, which it went bonkers. Like you said, I know we had some technical difficulties with the jockey box, but people were losing their shit over it. And even by the time of the event, it was probably like 5 weeks in, but it was such like a big hot beer to begin with that it was like, I think that's perfect for longevity. I like IPAs typically a little fresher, but there's something about the terpene beers and that heat that comes with them that makes them like they taste like they're 2 weeks old when they're like 8 weeks old. It's kind of
I had to fight a lot of accounts off just to make sure you got that keg. I was like,
I appreciate that.
Sorry guys. Nope, sorry. Taken.
Need it.
That's staying in the fridge.
Oh, I appreciate that. I would have been devastated if they weren't all there. That was quite the logistical feat to get all 40 beers.
Yeah, like I don't know how you pulled it off, man. That was a cool event.
There's a couple close calls in the end, but we got them all there. No, it was great. Everything worked out awesome. So I really appreciate you guys for doing that with us as well. And it was so sick. And I think it's like I think the ones that were able to work into, like, it was a collab with us for our 10th anniversary, but a part of something like the Turptacular, which is like, it's kind of like you get double the value for the beer. It's kind of best case scenario. Then it was there perfect for the event, so people got to try that, and it was a unique beer. There was only one other terpene beer, which was more of a West Coast pale ale type of style. So it was completely different terpenes as well. Which some of the learned. There's a billion of these fucking things. I didn't know. It's like hops.
Oh yeah.
How did you guys then? It's like, was it just the dosing? You just like got a whole bunch of samples and just tested them and figured which ones you like, like, or how did that
over the years? There's been products out there that I've tried and other people have tried, and they did really stand up. And then when we finally found, suppliers send samples all the time and talking to sales guys that come in. So just getting these ones that, it's actually a cannabis company that is getting into the hop products now too. So they're doing hop terpenes. So, and getting just all sorts of beer stuff. They're doing fruit puree terpenes or fruit terpenes.
Yeah, they're doing like fruit terpenes.
They're using all this cool technology from the cannabis industry and bringing it into our industry, and it's really making a difference. Like, these products were not available 5 or 6 years ago for sure. So,
what is a hop terpene? Okay, so you just like fucking
it's
around.
It's the same thing. So terpenes are flavor compounds that are occurring in these plants. So they're just flavor and aroma compounds. So you're not getting any of the
concentrating
THC, CBD. Even in the hop ones, you won't get any of the bitterness. So you just get pure like hop flavor, no bitterness. We haven't actually messed around with that stuff yet. I heard other guys doing it now, but I don't know, I'm kind of old school where a lot of these new hop products out there are interesting to me, but I always think my best beers are the ones done with the old school T90 pellets. I've been doing this for, I guess, 12 years professionally. So over the years, you get to try a lot of this kind of stuff. So when a new product comes around that piques your interest, you kind of have to jump on it.
I heard about hop terpenes, funnily enough, like this week, and I didn't really understand what it was. That makes sense. So it was concentrated aroma and flavors all put together. I've heard as well that everybody says, everyone I've spoken to, particularly because we just did all these collabs, of having a lot of those kind of nerdy hop conversations, everyone's like, you have to use, like, all of these new hop products are awesome. you just have to use T90s for the body. Like apparently the T90s and that vegetal matter is so important. And
for sure. I believe it does add more than just flavor and aroma. Definitely visually, I don't know if our beer definitely gets that nice milky color more so when we use those New Zealand hops. There's something about the hops from New Zealand that just
amazing,
make it much more pale. I think we used the Motueka in the collab we did.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, for our one, we had
Motueka and
Citra, Raquel, and the cannabis terpenes.
Was it just Citra Raquel? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the can is saying.
Oh, Raquel, that was it.
Shit.
That's the New Zealand hop in it.
Oh, we lost you.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. The I've got it's not connecting there. Oh, we go. We're back. Yeah, Motueka, Citra, Raquel, and cannabis terpenes. So I imagine I know we talked about New Zealand hops when we were talking about it. So it was obviously that was like the priority for all of us.
Yeah, because that's like your favorite hop, eh?
Oh yeah, my actual favorite hop is Peacherine.
Oh, nice.
It's just the go, but Kiwi hops, all Kiwi hops, almost basically all of the beers, all of the collabs, which are almost all of them are here now. Any opportunity to use Kiwi hops, that's what we did. They're just like superior, even though they're our New Zealand growing up was the neighbor, like the little neighbor that you made fun of. Their hop products are superior to Australian hop products. So what are you going to do?
Galaxy definitely had its day. It's not the Galaxy of today is not, I feel like it is what it used to be for sure, but
it's kind of back though, from what I understand. From people I talk to, they seem pretty excited about Galaxy compared to say 2 years ago. Apparently, like it kind of went to
It
shit.
is getting better, but I feel like it's there was a time when it was extremely
it was the king.
It was the king. It's absolutely the king, and now it's sort of got down. But yeah, the Kiwi hops are just the best, and there's no really discussion in it. And there's so many, like there's different farms that are doing it with like different lots. Like you were sort of talking about, Bill talking about the different lots before. Like it makes it so fun to just play with it all, and there's so many combinations, and now these are the hot products.
It definitely keeps us kind of interested in our toes. We kind of have the in the office we have spider graphs posted on the walls, different graphs that we are going by, and it's fun, it's exciting, especially testing with all these new products. And the New Zealand stuff is definitely a point that we're going hard into right now.
It seems like I think every beer we've done for the last couple months has had something from New Zealand in there.
Yeah, I feel like we're staying more away from the American hops lately and just going heavy into the New Zealand.
Okay,
that's mostly Bill.
For obvious reasons.
Bill's kind of the purchaser of the ingredients, and he.
I'm not joking when
I get to focus just on the fermentation side of things, which in its own, it's a whole nother topic on its own.
Yeah.
Go on, Ryan. So what were we gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say I wasn't joking about how excited Bill gets, and Bill's like a pretty like even keel dude, and like he is just really really loving getting into the hops, and you know what it is just being in a position now where we have the opportunity where being a new brewery, you're always worried about the money, worrying about sales, making sure you can keep doing what you're doing, making sure everything's working right. And now being where we are, like knowing that everything's working right, everything's good, it's just nice to be excited about trying new hops. Like, Freestyle Farms collabed with us for a beer, which hopefully will come up there in a minute soon. We get to work with these cool people and try this new product. Like, as beer nerds, how friggin' cool is that? Is that like we get to try all the coolest hops and see how it is and do it ourselves. And it's Bill's definitely leaning into it, and that's friggin' awesome.
Love it. I'm here for it. So with that next beer from at least my side, which should I do? Should we do the next?
Oh, I do the Ketch one there.
Okay.
Ketch, yeah. Unless you wanted to shotgun that Bad Bones one.
Is that the triple?
You were gonna shotgun that one? Just
The shock. I'm gonna shotgun it. I got a beer funnel right here, old school.
That's the nightcap.
I'll get the missus to come and be like, just pour that shit down. We'll just.
Hey, I'm bringing 2 cases on Saturday. I'll bring the beer funnel with me. Okay.
All right, do it. I can easily do that and then drive back to Hamilton. That's
I'll drive you back. It'll be okay.
Are you gonna shotgun it with me?
Well, no. Then we'll be sleeping in my van.
Maybe the dog can drive us back.
Yeah.
So this little. Oh, I didn't know. This has got it on.
There you go.
You fucking little gem. Citra and Peacherine. Oh goodness. Not surprised because I kind of learnt about Peacherine from the Ketch. They were the probably first big, proponents. What would you call them? Mouthpieces of Peacherine that I saw it the most in. And I like this glass. Shouts to Dan from Zen and getting the AMF glasses.
Oh yeah, they got that cool print. They got that cool printer that lets us start to get creative. It's really cool.
It's very sick, man. You guys do some fun glasses. I love having the branded ones. I'm all branded the hell up tonight.
We appreciate that. We appreciate it. Hey, wait. What are you wearing a new? Are you wearing a new shirt there or what?
Yeah, I got to see the back of that.
Can you give us a little modeling show there or what?
Let me see if I can turn around enough. Okay, come on. It's a really tight. Can you see it?
No, not quite. A little further.
Yeah. You got it? No.
You got to stand up a bit.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Hey. I got the space is so small, and like every time I move the chair, I smack something. All right, let me try.
This is why we're not allowed in the studio because
it'd be a little.
No, he definitely doesn't have pants on right now because that's why he doesn't want to stand up. He's trying to do the twist without standing up.
Figured it out, guys.
I got pants on. I got How's that?
There it is.
Oh, you're a little upset. So yeah, that's my van in the picture. It's my van, my old 74 camper van with all the brewery collabs in the back. It's we wanted to do a cool picture. Bill reaches out to different artists and commissions pieces for us, and they do have some cool stuff. So yeah, no, we got it now.
Love it. It's fire, man. I always I love white t-shirts. They scare the fuck out of me, but I really
I know. I had mine on today and I was like, nervous. Like got home, like gotta take this off before I have dinner.
ASAP and just put it somewhere real gentle. I always try and I have a white shirt from the guys that you were with today from Melon. And I got this like one little like stain like in the middle of it that I just tried everything. It just won't come off. It's really like light, so it's fine to keep wearing it. But I'm like, I need one of those like like some people are just like magicians with bed sheets and stuff. I need one of that. Just fix it.
I hear you're supposed to wash the white stuff separate from the dark stuff. I've yet to do it, but I hear that's the secret.
Honestly, we're all just blokes who don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Absolutely not. No. If you wear all black, it doesn't show stains.
It's usually the way to go. But there's something about these white shirts. They're just so nice, eh? They're so good. So I'm gonna be paranoid about it. I'm gonna keep this as good as that. But there's just like blue shit you can get, which makes no sense. This blue liquid that you're supposed to like put in my mother-in-law was telling me. I don't really get it because you're supposed to put it in the wash. I'm like, how is this blue stuff making it whiter? But some sort of science. I don't get science, boys. It's not my deal. That to say, okay, the t-shirt's fire. So this is the one with the Ketch. So Citra Peacherine. Did Guillaume insist on honey in this one?
Absolutely. And
Does
that was an exciting one. Like when I heard about that, and that he has a unique style, definitely with his recipe. The honey's unique. What else he uses? So I don't want to give away his secrets, but uses a little bit of raw wheat and some other adjuncts that I'm not normally using. So pretty much this is it's pretty much his recipe done on our system with our processes.
Okay.
And obviously the Freestyle Peacherine is the highlight of that one, which that's a limited hop. We were limited to how much is available to us, so we have some still in the fridge, but we're saving that I think for the anniversary releases.
That's a good idea.
Out of all the collabs, I hate to say it's my favorite, but yeah, definitely I think that one was my favorite.
You're allowed to have a favorite.
Oh, for sure. But that Peacherine, what a hop! Like I would almost describe that beer as refreshing. Like,
I've had this. How the fuck did I have this?
Oh, because you got a bunch from Durand,
I
and
did.
you're supposed to save them for the podcast, and you drank them all
Can you
like a
blame me?
fiend,
But we also pushed back
and
the
then
podcast.
and then we also pushed back the podcast, so that's your defense. And then so I sent you some more.
You did. I was like, I got him because I knew we were supposed to, and then I wasn't going to get him, and then once again my fault pushing the pod, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go get these, aren't I? And I couldn't help myself, Ryan. Yeah, this is honestly, fuck, it's been a time lately. This is spectacular though. This is so good, man. Oh, I love it. This is Peacherine is unfortunately so rare, but just like I like that you guys didn't overwhelm it with like 3 other hops. You kept it kind of like front and center with something like Citra, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, Citra. I feel like on its own it is great, but I think it's even better as kind of one of those hops. You know, it's not the star of the show sometimes, but it's a good base for the other ones. It doesn't outshine them.
That's a great point. Is that why you guys used Citra for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I find some of the other hops are too overpowering. Like once you get into like Mosaics or Nelsons or those kind of hops, like Citra, you know, it's one of those on its own it can shine, but when paired with stuff, I feel like it doesn't it doesn't overpower it. It complements it.
That's a good way to look at it. The Peacherine in this one, what are you getting from it as far as like I'm getting like from kind of your perspective. So from this, even just I love the hot burps. My favorite shit is the hot burps when I'm like it goes through your nose and you get it all there. I think it's beautiful. The peach is there, but I feel like it's almost like peacherine in your head. You think peach, but there's so many other flavors you get from it.
Oh, it's definitely kind of like that peach stone fruit. I also find, I think it's because it's paired with the Citra, you do get some of that tangerine out of it as well.
Yeah. It's like pithy citrus, but like sweet, sticky. That works.
I was wondering because it does have a bit of that sticky finish, and I always wonder is that from the honey? Just because it's a little different than I'm used to on my finishes.
Right.
So that's the one thing. It's my first time using honey in one of these IPAs. So.
Right. And how do you guys feel about the like rocking with the honey there?
Oh, it's you know, I don't want to start stepping on his toes or anything, so I'm not going to be doing it all the time. But I mean, it's a cool adjunct to have in your back pocket. I mean, if you're trying to enhance kind of that mouthfeel, and yeah, like
is that what
you've had Guillaume's beers? They've all been bangers, man. Like that guy is knocking it out of the park. I was on the Untappd top 5 international breweries of 2025. I see he was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see that. Very cool to see that.
And there was so like almost all of them were Canadian, I believe.
Oh, I know. That's it. Like Cantillon, and then it's all like, you know.
And there's like Messorem, Ketch. Yeah, it's pretty sick, man. It shows that we really have a lot of incredible stuff going on in this country.
And that's it. I kind of figured that out like 2 or 3 years ago, just going to some of the Quebec guys, and you know, we got Badlands and Third Moon and the boys in Ontario, and I mean, some of these guys are killing it compared to the south of the border. Like, if like I'm telling you, it's some of the best stuff in the world for IPAs coming out of this kind of region.
Couldn't agree more. We're really fortunate. Like, it's always fun to explore the States and see what's going on. Obviously, Ryan, you were just there like this morning, but it's like, I don't know, man. Their own backyard between Ontario and Quebec. I mean, what more do you need? If I'm honest, like obviously there's some great beer everywhere else in Canada as well, but like, yeah.
I did have some pretty good beers last night and yesterday while down there. But yeah, it's still
all the adventures yet.
I got home an hour before the podcast, so I got to have some. I haven't had a chance to talk to Rob and tell him all the good beers he missed out on.
Oof. Is there anything you want to share live, or do you want to keep that?
No, we were tight on time, but because we just went down to check out some equipment that we might need, and we got to go to one brewery and one beer bar that had a Michelin star chef, And we went to Grim Brewery, which is, I think, one of my that and KCBC are two of my faves in New York City. I think personally, not saying the others aren't amazing as well, but you know, if I was just going to go overall vibe and beer, yeah. So that's all I'll share with for breweries and beer, because Rob will start to wish he had taken the invite to come down.
I know.
Like, God,
he had to brew beer. You know?
I know.
Beer.
The fridge is empty, and they want me to go on a beer trip.
Can't you brew beer and go away, Rob? Come on.
I wish.
There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way. Hey, AI might help us.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah. Never know.
What's the beer bar that has a Michelin chef? Is that Toast?
Yeah, Torst. Yeah. They had a Michelin star chef, and I guess it's the same menu, but he's left. But yeah, their lineup was crazy. It was yeah. We'll talk about. Yeah, well, it was just. I think I had a Suarez. It was a Suarez family brewery. There was a bunch of like Hill Farmstead. There was a bunch of Fox Farm. You know, I really like my IPAs. Like I like trying the IPAs, but I even got into some really good pilsners, some really good lagers and stuff like that were just like, they're just so well done, and it was all so fresh. And I think that's the big thing. Like that's one thing I think you noticed. We put out a ton of beers, fresh beer. It just something tastes good, and there's something nice about seeing a beer that's like, you know, came out, like you can go on the Instagram and see came out like a week or two ago, and you can see it at your tap. Like that's why I do a lot of driving, because it is friggin' like, you know, that's something I pick up from these places I go, where you're like, oh yeah, like these breweries got that beer like 3 states away or 2 states away within 2 weeks of being brewed. And you know, we're not anywhere near there, but you know, it is important, and it is cool to see, I guess.
I love that. I couldn't agree more. Like that freshness, that's the one thing that I feel like is the most difficult thing about distro with beer. Even the States, a lot of the times I'll go to Buffalo, whatever, because we're right here, and you'll go to somewhere. I got a few stores there, and say I want to get foam, obviously from VT, who are incredible, but I feel like all of the beers are like 5 to 7+ weeks old by the time I'm seeing it. I'm like, I know that beer is not how in the same state as how the team made it. So it's like distro is always a challenge to try and like get that as fresh as possible. But when they pull it off, god damn it, it's beautiful. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. As a brewery, we all we've said this last time. We canning day 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1 p.m., whatever. That first beer comes off the line. We all have glasses ready. We all take a sip, and it's kind of like nothing tastes better than that beer right then. And it's kind of like you hold on to that, and you want to give that to everybody who drinks your beer. Like you want them all to drink the beer you just tasted. You're just like, no, drink this. And you know, if we could get our beer out the door on canning day, some days it tastes so good you just want everybody to have it right then.
That's amazing. Is that has that become a bit of a challenge for you guys, or have you been able to kind of figure out how to get it going to your licensees and everything pretty quick?
Driving 70 to 80,000 kilometers a year, about 900 to 1,000 audiobook hours. We'll do that. It'll get the beer exactly where. We've got a good distributor that ships our beer when I can't drive there personally, and it's a challenge. Like, you know, like Rob could say, like some days I'm coming in and going, "Hey Rob, I'm going to need you to keg some beer," and Rob gets really pissed at me because Rob is doing 5,000 other things that are just as important or probably more important than me. But it's like, you know, we fight and scream and push each other because you know, we're all just prioritizing things and trying to make things work. But yeah, it's hard.
It's hard,
right? It's easier now than it was 2 years ago for sure. We have it dialed in. Our output is way higher too, which is wild to think.
Which is awesome. I feel like I see you guys in a lot of places. Like obviously Durand always has the fresh All My Friends, which is very convenient for myself here.
And that's it. I feel like the places we're in are those kind of legit. They're not selling old beer. They're you know, they know what's the new drops they get, and they know how much to buy. So.
I had a good conversation with a guy yesterday about this. He owns a couple pinball bars, and he had a guy who bought his beer from him, and the person was always just like trying to get, price conscious, cheap, cheap, cheap. We just need to make as much money as possible. And he said it, and this guy wasn't a craft beer guy. This guy didn't even really drink. He just said, like, listen, he goes, you focus on cheap, cheap, cheap. He goes, you're just not going to attach to anybody. Like, people aren't going to really just necessarily come in. And he goes, if I have to spend more money on the keg, that's fine. He goes, I'll take a little bit of a cut because I know that people are going to see that. This guy had Hill Farmstead. He had lunch from Maine Brewing Company. He had like amazing beer list at a pinball bar. And he goes, you spend the money, you spend the time, you focus on giving a really good product. And he goes, man, you're not going to have to worry about the sales. You're not going to have to worry about the, $10 here, $20 here, anything like that. And so it's really cool to see. There's a lot of bars, and as a sales guy, there's more and more bars kind of seeing that, I think, and they're seeing the value in the fact that, like, us as a brewery, we don't hold back. Like we let Rob do whatever he wants, mostly, cost wise, because we know, like, hey, if you make the best thing you possibly can, people will see that and people will latch onto it, and that's how I think you're starting to see it more and more places, because I think more places are recognizing, hey, man, if I put a little effort into this beer, my customers are gonna choose me over the next place.
Well,
So
you can almost speak on how the drinking trends are going. Like, yes, people are drinking it less, but they're not spending less. They're not going out and buying that case of domestic. They're buying 8 beers of something palatable.
Well, they want a quality drinking night, man. You're gonna have a couple beers at night. It's not about the drink or the alcohol. It's about what you're tasting, what you're getting, and and also I think the beer clubs, like having this beer and talking to your buddies about it, and like, what do you think? Oh, exactly what we're doing right now, man. Like, we want to talk about the beer that we made. We want to talk about the beer that we're drinking. We want to try, like, like that's the focus now, which is great, because I'm too old to drink 24 beers in a night and do stupid
That's
things.
There's a time, when I was young, that was a thing, but I don't think even the newer generation isn't looking for that. So,
like volume of alcohol.
Yeah, the volume drinkers. I don't think that's. I think people are looking for quality over quantity.
I just read a stat that drinking is down amongst, like, like the millennials and the younger generation, and I'm not sure if maybe they're just drinking more quality. Like we do get a lot of young customers or younger customers too,
like
starting
Gen
to come
Z.
in. But yeah. The thing is like,
I feel like they're not spending less. I feel like they're still spending that kind of money they would spend. They're just going to cocktail bars and craft,
Yeah,
spending
a little bit nice. Like our generation, the 25 and 26-year-olds, we, we're not drinking like we did when we were 19, right?
Yeah, dollar beer nights on a Wednesday.
Let's go.
21 beers on a tray in Peterborough at the Pig's Tail, or the Pig's Beer, sorry.
What a time, huh?
We're not doing that.
No. I don't even know how they did that. They wouldn't tell you what kind of beer it is either. I didn't.
I believe it was called Recycled, but like, I drank it and loved it. It was the best time. Yeah.
I mean, when you're 19 years old and you've got fuck all money and there's a buck of beer, we used to do that in Australia too when I was like 18, 19 type shit. Yeah, you just drinking whatever garbage. But as you're getting older, we were sort of, I know I'm older than you guys, but we were all like, the words coming to mind is indoctrinated, but it's not really, but like introduced to beer culture once like, or drinking culture, sorry, as we were sort of, whatever, a little bit underage, and as you're kind of going in, so that was just what we all did. Like, I imagine that's pretty true for you guys here in Canada. Like, there's like a pub culture where it's like, I looked like I was 12 when I was 18, so I had to wait till I was of age to get into places. So I was drinking, obviously, but my mum went to it for me or whatever, or friends. So then once we were going out and stuff, it was just like, you go out and you want to get fucked up, or if you're driving, you got to be responsible, whatever. So it was just, but everything was centered around drinking. Whereas like the Gen Z folks who are sort of in their 20s now, like I think the youngest Gen Z is like 20. No, the oldest Gen Z is like 28, 29. So I don't know what that means. The youngest would be, but I
So
think
does that mean us?
you too, definitely.
Yeah.
Gen Z is
Elder
fun.
millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the oldest millennial, but yeah, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a different drinking culture, but it's cool though to me if you guys are saying that they're not spending less, but they're drinking less volume, but better stuff. At the end of the day, they're happy to spend that money to have a superior experience.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that when I go to a new bar and stuff like that, like I talk about that because you get a lot of bars and they've got, wine culture definitively has two streams where you have like, the box of wine or the cheap wine, Baby Duck, one of my favorites. Or you have these like 70, 80, 150, $200 a bottle at the restaurant bottles. And you definitely have two lanes of wine and people get right into it. And if you drink, a fancy bottle of wine once or twice a week, it's like, it's classy. It's interesting. Same with like you get into liquors, you got like, you have the fancy liquors, you have the fancy tequilas, the mezcals, the scotches. Like people who love scotch are like a breed of their own. Like they drink a ton of scotch. And if they were drinking that much Jack Daniels, we'd be like, dude, chill. But because it's scotch, it's because it's a different experience, right? It's a different focus. And I feel like beer for a long time didn't have that focus. And I always kind of explain to bars where I'm like, like you don't have to get it all the time, but it's nice to offer a premium product or a product that it can really pair and add to the food and kind of add to the whole experience other than just being an alcoholic liquid to drink.
Do you guys find then that more places are understanding that now, as far as like being that you guys offer what would be arguably called like, premium craft beer, as far as it's like high quality ingredients, more expensive ingredients, particularly the hops. The marketing is beautiful. Obviously your labels are just impeccable. They're some of the best looking in the country by far. It's so sick. Is that Michael who does your labels?
We've got a graphic designer, but
okay,
he does the polishing, puts it into the format. Him and his one of his partners that work there helped with the concept along with us, and he definitely polishes it. Bill and I really get a lot of the art, and we just try and find as many artists as we can. Like we had a wonderful woman from Dominican, a wonderful woman from Ireland. Recently, we just there was a dude from Hamilton actually he did the Ghost Rider. He did I think we've had 3 or 4 now from him. And like we love art, we love music, we love kind of like creativity, and it's just that whole thing is it's just a constant last minute chaotic fun adventure all the time.
Gotcha. I love that. All that to say though, the product appear like visually is like, oh, this is elevated. This is a high tier product and it is worth the price tag. Are you guys finding that whether it's the consumer or the licensees, whether places like Durant or sort of beer bars or restaurants or whatever it may be, are people understanding that more now? And that's
bar owners are under a lot of pressure. Bar owners, bar managers are under a lot of pressure. So that culture is slowly changing. Like I think I always say it to our customers, our friends who come in. It's just like, man, you gotta ask, because like you can't expect you honestly can't expect them to trust the sales guy. I can tell them, I can explain it to them, they can understand it, they can appreciate it, they can agree with me. But what you really need to do is create that demand on the other side as well. And I think they are, like, bars that get us, get our product, and our cans go out to like, if our cans are at the bar and the can goes out, like there's a couple local cocktail bars, our can goes out, and they say that every time it does, like 4 others sell right away. And I think there's a lot of breweries who understand that. Like Quebec breweries are great. Like like Willowball does some crazy stuff. Third Moon, all these breweries are. I feel like nobody's skimping on branding. Like like I'm surprised that we're it's rad to be considered amongst them, because like there's always, you got to have the whole package, right? You really want to sell yourself and sell everything to everybody.
Yeah, no, the branding is super key. And it's so that's one side of it. Like you said, are they gonna trust the salesperson? But like that kind of, it's almost like just like a cultural understanding of like, oh, this is like they have to know the difference between you know, the macro domestics versus something like this. Like and not all places do or see the value. And then you've also, because it's not even just the bar owners or managers who are purchasing, it's then like transferring that knowledge down to the servers and the bartenders who are like offering it. People are like, hey, what's this? Oh my, what's this about? And then having to explain like, hey, this is called New England IPA. It's, you know, it's intended to look like yellow milk and da. Like not everyone is sort of there yet, particularly in Canada. And if you were just obviously in New York, Ryan, like it's very different. If you talk about pinball places, I'm thinking of one in Vermont as well called Barcade or some shit like that in Burlington that has everything you just described. It's just like the most insane tap list and bottle and can list. You're like, they're so far ahead of us. It's crazy, but it's slowly changing here, and I feel like there's a bit more understanding. So I'm like, that's cool to hear from you guys that perhaps that then the drinkers might not be doing the volume, but they're spending the same money and they're interested in this higher class experience. If they're gonna have an experience, they're like, well, I'm gonna throw down on this and I want this shit to be fire. And they get it, because cocktails are not cheap. Cocktails are fucking damn near $20 these days, from what I've seen, almost anywhere, especially in Toronto. So if you can get like a high quality craft beer, even for like $10 on tap, I'm like, oh, that particularly appears like a bargain in comparison. And then you can have two for the same price as a cocktail, and you're getting two different experiences, particularly if you switch up the styles and stuff, as long as the place understands what it is, but also treats the beer. That's the other thing, is I don't know. I always feel like I pull up somewhere, and as soon as I see like an IPA on the menu, I'm like, oh, how old is this going to be? Like, how many people are coming to this restaurant ordering this IPA? That's always a concern. I imagine.
Hey, more and more, man. Like I always say, like the one thing that blows my mind is I always think that it's just going to be a bunch of people who look like us coming in to buy craft beer. But like we got regulars who come in and they're like mid 70s, late 70s, and like they come in for every release. And they are particularly fond of the double IPAs, like very, very fond of the double IPAs. So the demographic is growing, and I feel like it's a momentum game, and I feel like and like I'm not trying to give too much to this, but like I feel like it's the beer community. Like every time we do these collabs, like we're bringing our customers together. Like, you know, this isn't about like I've got my customers, you got yours. It's just bringing everybody together, and as the group gets bigger, it draws in more and more, I think.
I agree.
Well, I think to speak to quality, I think on that topic, I think the two biggest things for us to keep our quality is pretty much not overproducing, not producing too much of one beer to sit on too long, and making sure when it does go to distro, we're selling it to the right places, making sure we're not selling it to a place we know it's just going to go sit on a shelf and die.
Sustainable growth.
Most of the places we sell to, you know, they're excited to sell our beer, so it really helps that way. I know going to the corner stores, and I see it around my area now, and you can see, you know, IPAs and stuff sitting on the floor, and I'm just glad that's not us. I know that's not us, but I know that's also been a challenge to avoid. Well, it is easy to sell beer. We could sell way more beer, but it would be going to places, you know, we'd sell for cheaper, and it'd be going places we don't want it to go.
I've gone into places and pointed out that cases should be kept in the fridge, and you'll
go to Walmart and it will say on the can, keep refrigerated,
drink fresh,
sitting right on the shelf, and it bugs the hell out of me.
When you say
that's
that,
our friends.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's our friend's brewery, man. Like, it's like, hey, man, like that's a good beer. I've had that. Like, he's a good brewer. He's a fucking wicked dude. And then you see the beer warm, and you're like, people are not gonna get. They're not gonna get it.
No.
Yeah.
When you guys call it out to them, what's the response typically? Do they like, oh, I didn't know, or are they kind of like, whatever?
Yeah, it's usually an education thing. It's usually like they're just not aware. like even our customers, we make sure to always say that to our customers. Like, we say, hey, like, this is a very fresh product. Rob always says it's like milk, like, like it can be out
It's
of the fridge
fruit.
for a little bit,
It
but
is.
you're going to want to keep this in the fridge. And I'm always telling the people, it's like, I know you like, the one thing I get is like, I really love this beer, so I bought 8 of them, and I'm gonna save a couple for next, like 6 months from now, so that I can drink them then. And I always tell them, like, don't do it, man. It won't exist. It will not be the same thing. You gotta get this. You gotta get this, and you drink it. We'll give you a new one in 2 weeks, man. You come back in 2 weeks, we'll have something better for you. And it's an education thing, because it's as how long have our IPAs been around in Ontario? Like, the last couple of years they've really taken off, and you can't expect people to just instantly know, right?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like a slow build, and I guess that's part of the responsibility of, I guess, a lot of different people. From you guys directly, I kind of feel like there's a little bit from our side, but maybe the people who are listening to us already know about this stuff, so it's kind of preaching to the choir. So it's kind of like yeah, if I go to an LCBO and I see exactly what you described, like I'll see like some New England IPAs just on the shelf. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like, come on! Like, I rarely go to LCBO, so I'm just like, oh, but a lot of them do have those fridges now, which is pretty sweet. That means everything
nice.
is
Yeah, but
refrigerated.
most of the Labatt take up a lot of space in that fridge,
A significant
unfortunately.
portion of that
And if
fridge.
you peek behind the doors where the deliveries come in, none of that's cold.
Yeah, no.
So it sits warm, then they put it in the cold shelf. Oh, because they probably got multiple cases, but only one case goes out on the
I,
shelf.
I've seen that once.
Yeah,
I delivered
usually
for,
they'd order 6 to 8 cases.
yeah, I delivered for a friend's brewery, to an LCBO, because just to give them do a favor, and I spotted that, and I was it was kind of like, I didn't even realize that. I just assumed they would get, like, dropped, like, because for us it's like, I always tell accounts, I'm like, there's some accounts that, like, we'll release 3 beer at a time, and I'll go, hey man, like, I'll be back next week. Take 8 of each, or take 12 of each. Sell through them. If you run out by the day I come, that's perfect. I'll bring you more. I'd rather that than put them in a position where they have a couple extra, like a case extra, where they have to sit in the back room or whatever. So yeah, we're pretty on that.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to see that, because because same thing. I know a lot of the people I see that, I'm like, I know these guys. This beer is amazing, and this is being completely mistreated. So anyone that buys this is going to have a subpar experience. Or go to the LCBO and the shit's like 8 months old. I'm like, come on, Doug. Like, yeah, it's just, I get where they, because they don't, but I don't know if any they're decided to be the biggest alcohol purchaser in the world. So treat the shit with some respect if you want to.
Yeah.
Or not even just respect. It's more just like treat it how it needs to be at its superior quality for the consumers who are going to spend their hard-earned money in this economy when shit's kind of rough. Like, people want to have that experience. You don't want to get a subpar beer, because even if it's not that much, you know.
Well, I think it's a matter of time. We're like, as much as we've all been into craft beer for a while. I still feel craft beer is pretty new. Like, they wouldn't store a bottle of wine in a hot furnace room, and they wouldn't store it in the window in the sun. And that's just because wine's been always there, right? So it's just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You want to do the BreWskey one next?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Good. You read my mind. So BreWskey is this guy.
It's the Gusher. Yeah.
Let's go. Look at this.
I'm a huge fan as a sales guy of these beers right now. Untappd gave us gave Rob, I should say, gave Rob first and third best smoothie in Canada last year for the Untappd ratings, and it's definitely a popular one, and I always call it the
That's
I believe that and the Bubs are the initial entry point for non-craft beer drinkers. We get a lot of non-craft beer drinkers who come into the brewery, and I always joke that we'll get a group of 6 people coming into the brewery who are on a wine tour, on an alcohol tour in the county, and 4 of them are super pumped to be there. Like, they're like, we've been looking forward to this all day, and the other 2 are pouting because they just want to drink wine, or they don't like beer, or they don't think they like beer. And the smoothie's been like, and it at FlowFest, the smoothies went over really well. The smoothie is something where it's a beer product, and it really showcased how beer has no bounds. Like we're not like wine where we have like, the two ingredients and we just, the subtleties are what makes it really thing. Like we can go to extremes and do all sorts of fun things with it. And these smoothies are really one of those things. And I find that our customers who come in regularly for a smoothie, you'll come after a couple months of them coming in for them, you'll see a hazy beer in their hand. And that's kind of like the next stepping stone, right? You bring them into craft beer. And that's kind of our goal, right? Like make our beer super welcoming, super friendly. And yeah, Rob can tell you more about this beer. It's I like it I can only tell you from the sales standpoint why I think it's great.
Here for us. So this is mango, pineapple, passion fruit, guava, and cotton candy.
Right on. So yeah, this is just number 11 of our Gusher series, which I guess we've been doing now for almost 2 years.
Fuck, this is good.
I'd like to say our approach to Gushers is a bit different than some people's. We really focus on the blend of flavors and not just mashing together a bunch of fruit together. So we do some other little adjustments, especially regarding pH and sweetness. We do a mix of fruit puree and concentrates.
Okay.
We find just to give it a different layer, to give it more, we almost look at it like we're making candy, not making beer. So try to really focus on, adding those adjuncts in a way it's going to make that lasting impression.
The colors really are cool.
Well, yeah, one of the breweries that kind of influenced us was not Commonwealth, sorry, fair one too, but Fourscore out of Gettysburg. And their approach to smoothies, Foursquare to Gettysburg, I don't know, their smoothie game is, in my opinion, unmatched. It's they do just a lot different, kind of crazy, off the wall flavors that you would never imagine. And I really kind of like that approach to them.
They were the ones that they had like
candy shop for adults.
Yeah, they'd have the big league chew. I think they had it would have the bubble gum in with their smoothie, and it was like something you're like, really would it? And then you have it, and you're like, oh, that's what you're doing. Yeah. Oh, okay, I get that.
Interesting. I've never even heard of these guys. Okay, I'm just checking out their website now. Okay, so they're big on smoothies as their main shit. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's just. I think the key is
I don't know if I've had anything else but smoothies for those guys.
I don't think I have either. I think it's just like you don't got to be a big player in the game, and you don't got to be like a household name to be doing really cool and interesting things. And it's just that's the cool part. You stumble across something that you're just like, oh, wait a minute, like that's a cool idea. Whether it'll translate to what we have to do or whether they'll take it on. Like I just saw a brewery, Corporate Ladder, out of the States. Yeah. And I've never had their beer, but they came out with a series that looked like, like I'm a nerd. And they've got the greater mana potion, greater health potion, greater stamina potion, and they're all colored to look like video game potions. And they're bottled up like that. And I'm like, man, there's like we'll never be able to do that, and we'll never do that. We're not going to copy them. But
why didn't we think of that?
What like why did we think of that? What a freaking cool idea! Like the packaging, everything about it. I'm like, man, I just want those bottles to like I want those at my house like right now. And like stuff like that just gets us like excited to like gets our creativity going and gets us thinking and gets us going. Like hey, maybe we need a green beer. Like man, if I could get it like there's a few ingredients I'd love to get it. I'm like, oh, the color on that would be amazing. And you just get excited to serve it to people. Get excited to get it in people's hands, right?
I couldn't. I totally agree. I went to Corporate Ladder in March, and it was crazy. Blue smoothies and shit like that. They had the Game of Thrones stuff. They're kind of bonkers. You guys didn't you guys do one of the gushes this year? Was like green.
You got it. It's the one you have there. I think it's number 6. It's the gush number 6. You have it. Which I can tell you, like
green apple, pineapple.
The green apple, kiwi, pineapple. Yeah,
we can bust that out after. Yeah, that's like I think those like. there's like the people I like fun in beer. Clearly, you guys like fun in beer. I think that's like sick. It's silly. It's ridiculous. Some people, it's no fucking beer. I don't give a shit. It's fun, and it
Well,
tastes.
that's Wood Brothers, man. Like Wood Brothers, beer's fun.
Yeah.
Like what a solid thing to say, man. Like it absolutely is. Like, you know, like the only rules is got to be good. People got to like it, and you gotta take pride in it. I think you know what I mean. There's no rule of how to do it.
No, definitely not. And you guys definitely captured that. One thing I was really happy with, because initially the Gusher series wasn't in distro and I think you weren't able to ship it, and then something changed.
As well, the big thing was it was I remember Bill and Rob worked on this one hard. Was we put a shit ton of fruit into it, and so we were brewing a batch of sour and we were making up kegs for the tap room. And the thing was, can we sell this to our customer for a price that we could be proud of and look someone in the face for? Because like, if you make the best beer in the world, but it's going to be $20 a can, you know, like there's like you gotta have a little respect for your customer, and so there was a lot of, okay, what kind of volume do we have to do? How can we package this? Can we get it out to people? How can we do this in a way that where we can get it to the customer at a price where, you know, it's reasonable and respectful to them, and in a way that we can actually make money and not lose money on it.
Right. And then
So it took us a bit.
Okay, so it wasn't a physical logistical thing as opposed
to that too. Yeah, I worry every day about this. So myself, I've tried to make a can explode. I put the gushers in, you know, in a hot bucket outside, and I can't get it. But you know what it is? It's every now and then one of those cans will just have a little bit of active yeast might get into it, and that's all it takes. So we try to be, you know, it is one of those, keep this refrigerated. This is a smoothie. Don't keep this in the trunk of your car on a hot day type thing.
I hated.
We don't ship it online for that reason.
Yeah.
And we try to tell every customer that comes in to buy it.
I hated this beer when it first came out because I personally drove those kegs to St. Catharines, or those cases to St. Catharines, to Hamilton.
Exactly. From our fridge to their fridge in one
long day.
Right. Do you guys have a refrigerated car? You just gotta be like,
crank the air conditioning, and hope for the best and drive fast.
I want to.
It's not that bad. It would take a few days at that temperature to really do anything.
Totally, but I know you want to get it as crisp. But when I got this box yesterday, it was cold, via the distro, and I was like, sick. And I know that was like probably an AC thing. It wasn't like ice cold, but it was like didn't need to be in the fridge for long to be at drinkable temperature. I'm like, that never happens. So I was like, that's
beer and when you put enough beer in a car, like, so say when in my Volkswagen Jetta, when I get 18 kegs and 12 cases in there, they keep each other cold. Like being close to one another, it turns the car into a bit of a cooler that keeps itself cold and me cold.
So I like that. That's what it's here for. Yeah, so this, and just seeing this now pop up at Durant, I'm able to get the Gushers, because I remember first seeing them for the first few releases. I'm like, oh fuck, I know that I like either going to get out there or when time it so that when Ryan's out in Hamilton or something. But it's really cool to be able to see that you're able to figure it out to get it out to distro, because these are fun. This is great. Once again, what was this? It was mango, pineapple, passion fruit, guava, and cotton candy. Which I imagine the cotton candy just is that just like for fun, kind of like marshmallow, where it's like maybe it's some vanilla or something, but it's like it's in.
We usually we run with either vanilla, marshmallow, or cotton candy. That's what we've been using, kind of as different adjuncts to some of these.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly trying to like think of new ideas too, and different combinations and things to add. It's fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's fun. The I feel like the smoothies are probably the funnest, and you've got a little bit more breadth to work with, arguably.
We're also finding, like, as far as like to-go beers from the tap room, the smoothies dominate everything else.
Okay,
like, we have a smoothie it's great. If we have 2 smoothies, it's even better. They don't even cannibalize each other. People just buy
give me a
twice
pour
as
of
much.
each or whatever.
Yeah, it's a fun one. We found that out with the IPAs. It's like, having like this week we only had 2 IPAs in the fridge, which is unfortunate. Just because, fortunate because we've been selling, but unfortunate that we couldn't have more. But I mean, if we had 8 IPAs, it would have been that much better for us.
Right, and then is that just like a summer thing where it's just?
I think it's part of meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I find a lot of breweries they like have one IPA and be like, well, why don't you put a second IPA? I'm like, but we have one. Like, I don't think it's going to cannibalize the other. Kind of like other, you can't have 2 brown ales or something.
I think you mentioned it earlier, but like about how do you get feedback about what you're doing, and I think I think honestly people like this release. So the reason we're not drinking the beer and is right now is because like we sold I think 2/3 of our product in the first 3 days online. Bill wasn't there to supervise. We probably should have shut it down a little earlier so we wouldn't have run out of beer. But the thing is, what it is it's fun, man. Like it's fun, it's interesting, and I feel like that's the feedback where it's like, we've been keeping this up for 3.5 years, and we're going to keep it up for a lot longer. And it's there's your feedback that what we're doing is kind of reaching people, and that people are looking forward to it. And man, there's like, how friggin' proud are we that we, people actually, I'll be honest, give a shit. Especially with so many amazing breweries, and like to be able to work with them and create that. I think everybody's just seeing like, it's like, these are my favorite. These are like 2 amazing breweries, or these are 2 guys that I really love. I've always wanted to do that. And so, yeah, so there's our feedback. There's our feedback is we're running out of beer, and unplanned, and if we can plan for it, we can adjust for it. But sometimes we get surprised, I guess, and there's our surprise.
The best kind of surprise, like you said.
Yeah,
it's if people are wanting it, and the biggest problem you have is not being able to keep up. I mean, that's the better than the opposite, particularly in this economy, and people are loving it. And it's man, you guys, it's just fucking slay. This one specifically, I forgot to ask, did Derek or anyone from the team come out to brew this one?
No, they didn't make it down for this one. I visited them, I guess, last November, but then Bill was down there, I guess earlier this spring. Got to meet the guys and stuff too. So we collabed over, I don't know, just the schedule wasn't lining up great for some of these ones, just because our summers are nuts, especially we're a very small team, and the brew days can be pretty nuts. But yeah, unfortunately, he did make it down for that, but next time for sure, hopefully.
No, that's no problem. Derek is he's been our most appeared guest on the pod. He's a G.
Nice.
Yeah, Derek is a champion. And it was very fitting that you guys did a smoothie with BreWskey. It makes
I
love
the stuff they do. It's I knew as soon as we were going to do a collab with them, it should be a smoothie.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. It's this is money, bro. Did they contribute to any of the elements, or was this kind of more?
Oh yeah, we were. I think Bill actually talked to them the most, but yeah, we definitely collabed a bit upon how they do it. It is actually, if you've had some of our smoothies, it is a little bit different than, especially how the texture comes through, just because we kind of went for more their way, but.
Can you expand on that as much as okay? Is there anything more you could say about that without giving too much away, as far as like more their process, or is that sort of, if that's encroaching on stuff that you don't want to say publicly, that's fine.
I wish I could say more. Yeah, no, I should say that. Yeah. Bill actually does a lot of this smoothie blends. I'm involved in more of the fermentation and process stuff. Bill takes care of most of the dry hopping and blend, especially with the the sours. He takes care of doing most of the heavy lifting on that stuff.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So The base, I use our regular base recipe for the sour base, which is all malt. We do a high gravity brew.
To allow for the...
We ferment it out pretty good. By the time it gets mixed with the fruit, down to 4.5%.
Which is great. It's cool to have like a lower ABV thing like this.
Well, yeah, and that's it. I know what my target is. I know the people buying this aren't, we're in the county. It's a lot of day drinking going on, so I don't think people want the big heavy ones.
I still think a 9 or 10%, like a triple smoothie sour would be. I think there's something to it. Like I like maybe I just want to drink it, but
bombers.
Yeah, in a big bomber, like a big quart, and just fucking ready to go.
Old school. I love it. Fun fact: the collab that we did with BreWskey, we were supposed to be triple, and there was some fucked up. I don't really know the story properly, but something happened with the fermentation because apparently fermenting, like you just said, Rob, you brew like a stronger base, and we had 10 ingredients for 10 years. So like, imagine whatever that base is going to be, and to maintain that, then to throw all the shit into it, something went on. So then they did a special version of they got their normal base, which is ended up being 5.2%, and they made one keg just for the event to make sure we got it. And then the following week it was back to 8%, which was what they ended up at for their anniversary, which was kind of like a double banger. So it's from what I've heard, then it's a little bit of a challenge to get that triple smoothie, which is probably why you don't see too many of them shits.
Oh yeah, that even triple IPAs and getting up into that region with the style of beers that we're doing, it is tricky. For sure.
I tried the triple.
Dialed in now, though.
Yeah,
it's
you feeling confident with it? That's good. Triples are like they taste wise, fucking love them. Like they just like a more saturated version of a double.
I feel like the doubles and the triples, you can balance them way better with the alcohol and the oversaturation of the hops.
Right.
They're just something about it.
Yeah, they're sick. I would just find them like hard to fit into the drinking schedule because you want to have kind of volume. I don't know about you guys. I kind of want to drink a bunch of different stuff. So then if you're having a triple or something like that, or even like more than one double, it's like it becomes a thing. But it
tastes so good.
They taste so good. I tried the. I know we're gonna have it tonight. I tried it. You gave me some at the at Flowfest, Ryan. It was fucking fantastic. They're so good. Every time I have a fresh triple, I'm like, God damn it, these things are good. And it's just, I feel like it's like one of them things I usually would rock. Say if I had to be out, and I only had a couple of beers when I'm out, and I get back, it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, I could do one beer. And I'm like, let's do a fucking triple. Then it's money. Then it's like perfect timing for it. But if I'm trying to do like tonight, I'm trying to have like a bunch of different beers, and you have the triple, and it's like it's a little harder to fit that bad boy in the schedule. That's why I started doing that. I don't know about you guys with the I imagine both of you have some sort of absurd cellar of stouts, barrel aged stuff, everything 10% plus.
I don't have a fridge full of barley wines at all. Like I really don't. I don't.
There's some. Oh yeah, I got my good stuff's in the other room actually. No, yeah, it's all mostly. You know what? It used to be a lot of stouts. I got some of the Henderson Rush beers.
Mm-hmm.
I got some old ones from other breweries I worked at. I got a small pony over there. It's a good mixture, though.
Yeah, so all that stuff is wicked. And I found that the only way to get through it is that I had to allocate one night per week to specifically dedicate to the big beers. You have like a warm up, like an 8 to 10% warm up, and then like somewhere between 10 and 17% for the main course type shit. And you have it after dinner, so you're all good. And I take all that to the face without sharing it with the missus or nothing. And I'm like, I'm good. And I'm not the strongest drinker. I'm not the biggest, volume as far as like the ABV guy. And I'm fine with that. And that's one way. That's the only way I've found to incorporate those large beers in the.
I like to bring them to the brewery. I like to. I had some. I had some intermodals that I had for a couple of years of those, and I'd seen them because they're just like such a beautiful beer. I'm like, I don't know if it's, like me sitting alone by myself. I'm like, I don't know. But if I can bring them in and if I can share them with people, and it's like there's something about like there's all of our regulars who come in, or even not even just regulars. We'll lure in people who are just stopping in. When everybody sits at the bar and they wait lit up and they go, oh my God, they're excited about that beer. And it brings that excitement back that you have when you bought that beer. And that's my favorite thing. You can drink it by yourself. You can drink alone. You can drink it at dinner. That's cool. But if you want us to come over, we'll come and partake. We won't complain.
It's definitely a fun thing. Yeah, having it all, like, it's not the greatest, because the only way I've found to sort of, because you're right, Ryan, like as far as sharing it out, because you only really need a few ounces of something, particularly when it's 15% or whatever, right? Like to really get the point of it. But I've got these glasses. I was using this Badlands one, then Dan from Zenin gave me a BAOS branded one. But basically, it's like a 4-ounce glass, maybe. So you get the beer, a stout. You pour in this big stout in this glass, and you have it first. It's kind of cold, and you like drink. Okay, cool. But you're leaving the bottle sit there. Then once you empty that, you finish it. Then you pour the next one. So by that time, the temperature is totally different. So the second beer is different than the first beer, and then same as the third beer. And I think there might be a little bit of drink. And I found that to be my personal favorite way of. I've done that for maybe the last year or so, not that long.
That's cool. Yeah.
And it's just like having these. I don't have it right next to me here, but just like a small glass. Badlands did this inky glass. It was like one of those, I think it's called Rydell or something. And then Dan from Zenon was like, oh, I see you have that, I'm gonna get you one that has BOS on it. And it's kind of like a mini the New England IPA glass, like the the one. It's not like I got this one. So not like this one, but the New England one, which is kind of has a little bit of a lip at the top. So it's just literally a tiny one of those. And I'm like, oh, this is, it's just like such a nice way to drink the big stouts and barley wines that I found. I'm like, if you were sharing it and everybody had one of those glasses, perfect, because that's what you need. But if you're drinking it by yourself, I found that it's like a nice way that I never get too lit, and I have different experience as it goes, as opposed to pouring it all in one big glass or something like that and then letting it warm. You're just pouring bit by bit and it stays in the bottle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything to that, but I've found that that's been an enjoyable way to attack the cellar that seems to never-endingly grow. Even though as much as you do it, you're like, fuck. I'm sure you guys deal with the same thing. You're just like, fuck.
Well, I don't think we deal with it on your scale at all. I don't know how you keep up with it. You seem to you've had every beer by every brewery in the province and in Quebec and in the States. I can see a picture of you drinking it at any given time. I don't know how you keep up.
On that note, Ryan, I'm not that crazy. There's people who are way more than me. On Untappd, so I do my little beer selfie. I'm at 9,700 and something. Because sometimes I have a beer and I'm with somebody, like I just don't always want to review it. And I saw on the weekend, on Sunday, I hit beer 10,000 on Untappd, like unique beer 10,000. And do you know what beer it was? It was fucking Gusher. I think it was specifically beer 10,000. I didn't even realize I got a little badge. I'm like, what the fuck? That's pretty sick.
That's right. That's our beer, man.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I meant to actually message you about it. Let me double check exactly which one it was. It was the same one. Yeah, this bad boy, the Jack 11. So like it's I know there was a dude who's big in the Ontario scene who just hit beer 20,000 unique, and I just hit 10,000. So a lot of people don't always have the full beer to themselves. They'll go places and they'll share a bunch of small ones. They'll just check it in, whatever. That's cool, but I'm drinking.
It's rad that somebody who's had been able to try 10,000 unique beers, gets excited about you get it, like the excitement of the beer, the new beer, the interesting beer, having something you haven't had. It's and the ritual of it is fucking great, man.
Yeah, it doesn't really leave you, like it's still just as exciting to try a new beer. Like, wow, this is there's always something, and you notice patterns, you notice what you like and don't like or whatever, but it's still fun. It's still cool to discover and try something new and like really just sort of dig in. And I feel like that's the upside of something like Untappd, because I know actually that's probably a question before we should move on. I know we're going to move to the next beer. Like Bebo said that Untappd has a sort of what's the word? A stronger influence on the scene, on breweries, on beer than perhaps it should, being that there are distributors in different places, like say Europe, who won't order a beer unless it's got a 4.2 average. There are people who come into the brewery and if the beer is less than 4 average, they won't order it. And I've heard that from multiple people. Bebo specifically told me about the Europe stuff, and then I think he said on air, and that. So have you guys, being that you're in that conversation as far as some of the best breweries in Ontario, as far as the haze and the stuff that's really like ranking high on Untappd and the smoothies too, do you guys have any feelings about Untappd? Does it have an undue influence on your customers, on you guys, on the team, on what you do? Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's good. I'm sure Rob's got his own perspective. As for me, I'm an eternal optimist. I listen, man. There's good and bad of everything. There's definitely some bad about Untappd. Like like you get the people like checking a hazy and they go, "It's what greatest hazy I've ever had, 1 out of 5." But I don't like hazies. Like I'm not a hazy guy. I like pilsners. And you get the odd person like that. But in the end, it's like, what a rad way to like, and anybody who's watching this, I know for a fact that somebody in this podcast that is a part of the brewery reads a lot of the reviews, and it's nice, for me, it's rad to fucking see somebody write a review and hear their honest opinion, because they don't, maybe they do think we're watching, but maybe they don't know we're watching. But it's nice to see, like, hey man, I really like this beer. This is a great beer. People, I like the ones where they write a comment about they're having a great night and they're talking to their buddy, like, hey Frank, man, this is beer number 6, catch up. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, like the ratings do, it becomes a bit of like a weird popularity game, but at the same time, man, like you get to know like the vibe of how people are feeling about what you do, man. And that's kind of, you're talking about feedback. Like, we can have the intangibles of people coming into the tap room and being excited. And that's always good when you get those ones, but it's nice to see when you're going through and you're like these random check-ins from Finland. Great, good beer. Really enjoy this. Or you get a check-in from Quebec. Like, had a great time this weekend. What a good experience. This was such a good beer. Pumped on this. So for me, like, because I don't make the beer, I just sell it. I find it cool and interesting to see the feedback on what we're working on, and so I see the positive. But there's downsides to it, of course, and you try and focus on the good, I guess.
I love
Rob?
that perspective. Hey, Rob, any thoughts?
It's honestly, it's how you can't compare apples to oranges. So when you're not on tap, you kind of have to look at it like IPA breweries are obviously going to rate higher than traditional ones. I feel like there's a way to interpret everything. What we see with it does, being in a region when we're the highest rated, we definitely seen an advantage there with Untappd. We can't deny it. I don't think with the European and other export stuff that people talked about, yeah, it is kind of, but I feel like also our region is kind of known for the IPA, so I get it also, but there's two sides to everything. You have to know how to, it doesn't, just because a brewery doesn't have a 4+ rating doesn't mean it's bad. And there's
No,
people
not
out
at all.
there I feel like think that, and some of my favorite breweries out there that I know are way better than their ratings are. So it's just, you got to know how to interpret those ratings.
And it's good to have the conversations with people too. You know what I mean? Like have conversations, suggest breweries, and regardless of how it might have rated. Like maybe they're, they just do lagers, or maybe they do sours, or maybe they do barrel aged, and however that translates into Untappd. It's good to talk to people, and it also, the app is pretty cool. It tells you what's on tap at a given bar that uses Untappd. It tells you what's on tap at the brewery that's connected with it. I don't know. It shares a lot of information,
It's a
and
huge part of the culture, and we notice it with the customers. You see it every day. I think we're averaging 1,800 check-ins a month right now. That's freaking huge.
Who is, sorry,
I
individuals?
think we are right now.
Oh, you guys as a brewery. Fuck yeah, that's sick.
I've had a family from California that was driving from Montreal to Toronto, and they were beer fans, and they used Untappd, and they saw we had a good rating, and they looked at the pictures of the beer and the reviews that people left, and they said, "Man, it's worth the 45. It's to get off the highway. It's probably 45 minutes down to the brewery." They come down to the brewery 45 minutes. They spend an hour. 45 minutes back up on the highway, and off they went back on their way to Toronto, and it blows my mind that
it's the
that
same
somebody
thing
would.
when you travel and you look at the ratings of the hotels or the restaurants. It gives you brand confidence and stuff. Unfortunately, with Untappd, it does give bias towards the styles that we do. So that's where I say there is a lot that leaves it up to interpretation, like how those rating systems work.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on the consumer and what they're into, and arguably a large portion of those consumers probably want what you guys do. They probably haze people, and I like to see it for those exact reasons you guys both described. I want to go in there and I'm like, all right, the beer I'm about to order. I never really look at the average rating because it doesn't really matter to me, but I know what I like. So if I look at the beer and it says hazy, but it's kind of like barely opaque, I'm like, well, that's not really what I want, because I want like the milky haze personally. It's just what I'm into, and I know that hits my flavor profile more. So if I'm at a brewery and they've got like 6 hazy IPAs, I'll look at each one and I'll look at the photos. If I can't see what it looks like, I'll be like, oh, that one's probably what I like, and then be able to go for it based on those images. And I feel like that's pretty helpful. And you're right, Rob, because we do the same thing with cafes, with restaurants, with hotels, like with anything. Like we're going to go on booking.com and then you look at the rating there. I'm like, let me check Google rating just to make sure it's not some fucked up shit. Then you go to Google rating, it's like 3.5 and you're like, ugh.
I picked a breakfast place this morning based on the pictures that, there's a zillion places in Manhattan, and I picked a breakfast place where I looked at it and go, King Kong pancakes, those look amazing. Yeah, I don't know what any of the words mean on on there. I want King Kong pancakes. That looks amazing. If I can order it, it was the best. It was the best.
So it does work.
Yeah,
it does work, and it's like, yeah, like you guys said, Untappd kind of does have a bias towards what you guys do, so it's in your favor. There's probably a few negatives as well, but I do like your positive. I feel like people shit on it a lot, so I'm actually really appreciating both of your positive sort of approach to it, because as a consumer and kind of what I do, I don't know, I just really like it. I get to track what I'm doing. I get to see what's going on. I rate everything high because I don't drink bad beer. I drink from incredible breweries, and the beer is awesome. So all my ratings are really high. And I know that if I went and rated a beer, whatever, even 3.5, I'm like, if it's 3.5 for me, that has to be a beer I'm not particularly fond of. Like nothing gets under 4 for me. And I feel like that's fair. Like that you know what I'm saying? Because I know what happens if you get one rating that's like 2, that's going to drop an average below the 4.2 or whatever, that maybe a distributor won't take it.
It's easy to be, man. I think it's just our perspective in life. It's easy to be negative about anything.
Yeah.
And negativity is contagious, but the thing is the same thing about positivity. So, like engaging in that conversation with customers and with people, being like, no, like, just having a conversation about like how good this is. And I think that's part of the collab thing too, is like positivity and encouragement and sharing our friends, man. Like, like, hey, maybe they make 2 hazies and they make 85 different beers that, aren't your cup of tea. But it's cool to get excited about them and get other people excited about, like, no, man, give this a go, and you'd be surprised how quickly that can change someone's mind on something, or change their way of approaching, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. It's important to have that conversation alongside what they're seeing online, and sort of, yeah. And also I think there's like a bit of and the reason why I'm kind of a little bit hopping on it, I want that education, because I know there's some people who don't understand that, like, if they have their own rating system and 2.5 is good for them, like 2.5 can really damage a brewery or a particular beer's reputation. And it's just more like you got to understand how Untappd works. So I kind of like to sort of just express to people, because I've definitely spoken to a bunch of folks across the board who have their own systems, and it can negatively affect a brewery in general. So it's like, there's that conversation with people to make them understand what they're drinking, but also people who use Untappd in their own way and they think it's all good, and it, like, technically I guess it is, but you got to also just be cognizant. If you care about the people and the businesses, this app has an undue like a uncommon weight that it holds on an industry which is pretty unique. I don't know if it's another industry where an app, like a phone app, has a
I don't think there's any other app that I know people use, like, probably more people use Google reviews and Yelp and all that, but
Sure.
I don't think people are pulling out their Yelp while looking at your menu in front of you, going through your recipes and your menu in front of you to find the right beer to have. I usually just, when people are doing that, I'm like, "Are you on Untappd right now?" And they go, "Yeah." And I go, "Sit down." And I just pour them a sample of all the beers, and I go,
just pick
"You
them
can
up.
you can look there."
They'll ask for beers from last year that were rated high just because they saw it on the Untappd.
You can still order based on Untappd, but here, just drink them all as well and go from there.
That's a fucking great way to approach it, to be like, hey, how about make your own decision and see what you think on here, and then see if that levels up with Untappd and what you think.
I'm really good at peer pressuring people into drink more beer, for sure. That's a challenge and talent of mine.
I don't know why I'm not surprised about it.
You'll find out at Freestyle Fest. You'll find out for sure.
When you'll be driving me home. Hey, do you guys mind a quick bathroom break, and then we'll jump to the next one?
Good idea, yeah.
Boom. All right, Joe. Back in a sec. And we are back. Boys, what's up next?
That was good.
That was great. We're just having a bit of a chat off air. Good times. What are we doing next? What do you think? What's the vibes?
Rob?
I guess.
What do we got? What do you got next?
We have a dip and a triple next.
Dip, a triple, and then we got that flare. Okay. Yeah, it's up to you, man. Let's get what we can. Let's.
I got.
We can switch it up and throw the flare in now if you want.
Throw the flare.
Yeah, let's do
the flare. You know what? I like that. Robert. That's smart. If I may call you Robert, if I may. I know that might be how your mother calls you, but
Robert.
I hope you permit me.
Hey, little interesting fact about our brewery. We've got a Robert William, and then we have a William Robert as partners.
No shit.
Yeah, and then we have a Ryan Michael.
Oh, William Robert. So you got. Okay, Ryan doesn't have a short one because William Robert. You got Bob. Bill Rob and Rob Bill. Or
Billy
Bob. Does anyone call you? Oh, Billy Bob. Does anyone call you Bob?
Occasionally, yeah. Some people call me Bob.
I like that. I don't know why. I think it's like doesn't happen in Australia, but over here, love a good Bob. Everyone loves a Bob. Don't know why. It's just nice, right?
Bob's always a nice guy, so it might not fit.
What? Wow. Nah. Bob goes all right. I'm calling you Bob for the rest of the podcast, and maybe for the foreseeable future. Who knows? So we're just talking off air a little bit. We're trying to peer pressure Bob to come to. Bob, see, I'll use that immediately to come to Freestyle Fest on Saturday. So this is the collab. So Freestyle Fest is Willibald has partnered with 12 breweries, including themselves, and Freestyle Hops. So all the beers they're pouring have Freestyle Hops, which is actually what a cool concept. Are there going to be people from Freestyle Hops there?
Yes.
I heard they're going to be there. Yeah.
Okay, I want them on the pod, so I'd love to chat with them because they're like, oh no, have you heard the way that Kiwis talk? They're funny, bro. You think I talk funny? These guys are funny. So I'd like to meet them and hear how they talk about their hops. Oh, they're so choicey. So all of the beers are. So you guys made this one specifically, as the Freestyle boys would say. With, let's see, you can probably beat me to it. We're looking at Citra, Freestyle, obviously Citra and Freestyle Nelson and Maui Nelson Hop Keith. Fucking beauty. Tell us about this beer, boys. Tell us, Bob. Big Bob.
Hey, Bob. Bob, it's your turn.
Yes. When they reached out to us with this festival, Freestyle Hops, something that we just started using actually this year. It's something that we've known about. It's so actually interesting to me to see how kind of these hop farms are developing and getting into North American market now. They're honestly, like it used to be such a pain in the ass to get this stuff. We were literally ordering it from the farm in New Zealand just to get it. So we were paying duty to get it here. By the time the box got to us, like the first few times we've ordered from these guys, like it's mangled. But now they have North American warehousing now.
So, oh, really?
It's not. So moving forward, you'll see a lot more freestyle stuff coming out of AMF for sure.
Hell
just because we can actually get it without it taking complete, like, you know, we'd be lucky if they had a couple boxes they could send us to the last few years. So you know, moving forward, you know, we're stocking our fridge as much as we can with this stuff. So these guys run a small hop co-op out of New Zealand, and they are absolutely crushing it. Yeah.
I love it. This makes me extremely happy. Yes, well described. They're the goats. No one's, as we were sort of talking about earlier on, no one's really touching what they're doing. New Zealand hops, period. But Freestyle Hops have the brand, that brand recognition. Oh God, this nose.
It's almost like I'm telling you, with like some of the other hop companies, we are really looking in depth, but we have such confidence with Freestyle. We don't really, you know, we know what we're going to get is good. Like they are, like if you see peachering, that is Freestyle every time. They're the guys that do the peachering, so
they are indeed.
They've got cooler names too, I think.
Maui Nelson, like you know,
is Nectarons theirs too?
Nectarons as
no Nectarons. NC Hops does Nectaron as well.
Superdelic.
They both do Nectaron. Superdelic's done by both.
Okay.
Like they didn't come up with any weird names like Sabro.
We have a new experimental one they sent us in our fridge right now.
Ooh,
I can't think
of the
name
of
it.
Okay.
I can't think off the top of my head.
Or whatever, or is it like a leather number? Okay. Like
no, it used to be a number, but
like a license plate hop.
Yeah, that's it. I love getting kind of the new shit from these guys because I feel like hops have gone so far in the past just 15 years that all this, I don't know, I feel like the cannabis industry has, a lot of that has come over to the hop industry. So you're getting these wild, high alpha, crazy oil contents in some of these hops. So
it's so cool, man, and I love that you guys did this for this event and sort of worked with these hops as well, and just using the, obviously Citra probably the choice of like a base, but like having their Nelson and then the Nelson hop Keef to sort of really like lean into that the Nelson.
Yeah, I think the Citra. I put the Citra mostly in the Whirlpool on pretty much it's the Whirlpool hop I use. Okay. So it's not like that helps with the precursors just to give it that base. And then for the dry hop on that one, it was just heavily hit with the Freestyle.
Which is so sick. It's this is great, man. It's like it's got that signature like AMF creamy. I mean, just look at that. That to me is just sex in the glass right there, mate. it's so creamy and murky. The body is fantastic. It's got all that gooseberry, that white grape.
And I see a lot of people on the internet talking about how to get that kind of milky haze.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, oh, you need steam to do it. You need steam. No, we do this on an electric system right now. So
you don't have steam.
We're switching to steam soon. So we might actually be able to take it to that next step.
I would say, as a consumer who doesn't know everything about your processes, that following you guys from the beginning, from the first drops I had to just consistently drinking, I try to get as many as I can over the time. Like, I kind of would argue from my perspective, maybe not from yours, that you're kind of already there. When I say kind of, I mean aggressively already there. Like, the body on these beers, even if you want to take just chemistry, for example, it's one of my favorite beers I've ever had. It's fucking insane. That level of murk is up there with any of the other, you name a brewery, that's what it's up there with. I feel like you've already attained that. Are you thinking more of like consistently attaining it? Is that like a thing? That's the only thing I could think of.
No, I don't know. I feel like there's always, I've had beers. I know there's another level to it. I feel
there's always more, man. Like, I think that's the cool thing about beer industry now, is that I don't know, I don't brew, but I thought Rob's beers when we first opened were like, I'm like, how the fuck do you top this? This is amazing. And then every time he comes up with it, he find there's more intricacy, there's more delicacy to it, and it's just like, you know, like, and I think that's kind of our attitude is like, you know, just because you make a great beer doesn't mean that you stop there. I guess keep trying, keep doing new things, keep tweaking. Rob, I don't think he'd make the same beer twice if he wanted to. I think he loves it when he first has it and then hates it the next day because he thinks of three things he could adjust and tweak and I think that, you know, there is no we're there already. It's just always going to be changing.
It's not only that
makes sense.
Like, well, beer's a funny thing. Beer changes so much with the ingredients, and the ingredients being grown each year is different. I feel like we'll never get that. I don't know, that 2014 Citra where everything was just, you know, I don't know if you remember Citra back in 2014, 2015, when it was super, like, you almost described as catty.
Yeah, big time. I haven't had that in forever.
And you can't, like, and that's it. That's all your seasonal terroir kind of, you know, how the harvest goes and all that. And you have to adjust for that kind of stuff. And I would love to see, you know, who knows where it's going to go next. And there is, you know, there is another level to this that maybe no one's got to yet, but it's there.
I respect and admire what you're saying, and I think that makes complete sense. And I think that's the attitude to have as a brewer and as a brewery. You guys always want to be improving and making it better. And I've never met a great brewer or brewery who doesn't say what you just said. And I think that's the essence of excellence. So I agree. As a consumer, I guess this is a great opportunity just to dap you guys up for like seeing where you started from, which was already a great kickoff position. Not all breweries get to launch with a bit of that hype, you know, a bit of that haze hype. And you've got the beautiful designs from the beginning. You never even wavered for a moment with the design. So it was already exceptional. And the beer was already fantastic. And I feel like there was something that happened, and tell me if I'm making this up in my head. I just feel like all of a sudden everything was like great. And then it became excellent. Like, it almost felt like with one drop, I'm just like, all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all of these beers are just out of control. Like, everything was already, once again, great, but then they leveled up. Did you guys have a thing? Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I in my own head about this?
I think we just tightened everything up a little more.
Okay.
Really, the big thing is, like, we talk, like, in that thing, everyone loves to talk about hops and loves to talk about everything. As the it's the fermentation is so important. If I'll know as soon I'll know if the beer is good before the hops go in, like the dry hops are even in there.
Okay.
We taste it the whole time. We know our yeast so well now. Being that, you know, I find it's the precursors that lead up to those hops going in the dry hop that will give you that final product in that mouthfeel. I think that's where the real work happens. I feel like, you know, the hops get all the
credit
hype, all the credit for all of it, but I really think the yeast and everything that comes before is really the most important part. And yeah, for sure. And it doesn't get talked about enough. But yes.
Okay. Interesting that you guys see. I feel like I totally get it, and maybe I'm in my. I feel like somewhere between after the first anniversary. So it was somewhere, I guess, if first anniversary would have been like spring 2023, is that right?
Yeah.
So we just had the third anniversary here. So somewhere between there and last year, some point, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I'm just, Jesus, it was just like everything leveled up in a way that was noticeable. And once again, it's not saying it was like and went from to, it was already fantastic, and it was like, oh, these guys cracked the code. That's what it felt like from our perspective. Like Nate and I were talking to the point, I'm like, this is crazy, to the point where I'm like, we really don't want to miss out on an AMF release, because I'm like, this is going to be incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way.
I'm not the brewer, but I think it's just like we're constantly talking about what we like about the beer and what we don't like about the beer, and you know, like it's there's a lot of conversation about like what we're doing, right? And
well, for me myself,
Rob,
actually working taproom, actually talking to the customers, and I've learned way more than I ever did at a seminar or doing some kind of production work. Just because you realize what I like might not be what they like. So really figuring out the customer, I feel like, is the key.
Yeah, I when I was in England, I talked to the Cloudwater guy, and
Paul, right?
Paul. He was saying, he goes, it's very much about like when you hear what the customer thinks, you know, that kind of feedback is priceless. And so Rob saying that, like when the customer's there and they don't know, they're talking to the dude who brewed the beer and made the recipe, and they're talking about what they like and what they don't like about it. You know, that's like I couldn't imagine being in that position. How humble you would have to be to hear like someone like give an honest feedback on your little product, right? Like what you made with your hands.
Yeah, no, I get it. It makes sense. There's like a perception, I would say, of you guys that are over and above everything you're saying. Is like, you're both extremely humble, and I respect it, and I know you're not saying being humble because it's cool to be. Oh, you guys mean it, but I'm like, I want to gas you up a little bit, and it's just like it's like this increased quality over the last couple of years since we've spoken, and it's noticeable, and I wanted to just flag it and be like, yo, we see it. Your shit is crazy. You're doing fun, really well executed things, from the 420 stuff to the gushes to just improving your haze to the shit you don't get the most credit for, you could probably guess, the fucking Helles lager and the Czech pale lager. The particular the black can was fantastic. The white can one, which was I think the Helles, right? Is that right?
Well, we've got a new one coming out though. We got a new one coming out, Rob.
The Czech pale lager is coming out. We just had the North American pale lager in the black can and the Helles in the white.
And so there's a third one or a
Third's coming out. It's been 5 weeks in tank. Yeah, there are 3 weeks to go, and then we're packaging it.
Amazing. The Helles lager was so good. As in, like, I'm like, this didn't get the credit. Ryan, you gave
one can left. I'm so excited for it.
Fuck, it's so good. Ryan, I think you gave it to me and Nate at the at Blood Brothers that night. I'm like, oh, this is fucking crazy, because I really enjoyed the black, and the black can was gorgeous, just like all the rest of your artwork. And I feel like the Hellas leveled up the crispy even again, so I'm extra excited now for this other one. That's like a line of stuff that you guys don't get the credit for, I would imagine.
I'm hoping
something
we're doing in the future is a lot more lagers. And that's just a start. I were actually like talking with the guys at Milan today. We did the Hellas Club. That's with Herman Brasserie.
Oh, Herman,
those guys fucking
awesome, man.
Awesome shit. That is it's so cool to see that. They're like a hype lager brewery that do one-off lagers all day long.
Yeah,
keep it interesting, and man, they crush it. Those guys, like, cool dudes.
The Milan guys in Toronto or something? Is that why they're coming down, or will they just come down to see you guys?
They're doing a collab at Slake. I know that. I'm not sure if they're going to the Freestyle Fest or not, but I know they're definitely doing the Slake stuff.
Okay, good for them. I keep missing them every time. Even when I went to Montreal, I went to their event, but I was sick, so I went there, bought the shit, and left. I didn't get to like talk to them and stuff. And every time they're in Toronto,
great dudes. Yeah, I've bumped into them. It's the third or fourth time I've bumped into Alex, and then that's the first time I get to meet David, and then other Alex was there too. That's rad dudes. Like, their beer is top notch. Same thing.
Yeah, like, impeccable. They went to Europe and came back. Yeah, man. And do you know what they weren't when they opened? Because I got to meet them right before they opened, because I was living around the corner from them. So my friend took me in and got to meet them. We were the first pod that they were on, and got to sort of see that first drop and see where they didn't start off with that. They just did killer shit that was all across the board. Went to Europe, got incredibly inspired, and came back, and then figured out the lager game. And now they're fucking lager lords. It's beautiful. And it's very cool to me that you guys connected. So did say what you can on air, and if you can't, but did you guys do any sort of collab, or they were just popping by to say hi? And
popping by, we're planning on doing a collab in the future for sure with those guys.
Okay.
What's in great right now? Plus they're doing the Slate collab, so they just happen to be 10 minutes away. So they popped into us. They went over to see Justin there at Matron.
Oh yeah, may as well. He'd be crazy not to.
One of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, like. Yeah, it's pretty sweet for them to come through. The county is such a blessing right now. After coming to see you guys in April, we did June Hopper, you guys, Justin and Slake, all within the it's good, bro. Like, what a time, eh? Like, look, and there's a bunch of other great breweries in the county, but I got to be honest, like that's a pretty killer, like 20-minute drive between the four of you guys. It's insane, the variety and the quality from visiting the county. From, I don't know, I'm not as OGs as you guys. I've already been visiting since like maybe 2017 18, and then seeing what it was then to then, and that was while Justin was still at Stone City, and then Matron coming in, and then Slake, once I discovered what Slake was doing, and then you guys, and now June Hopper, that you guys had a big, Ryan, you were telling me have a big part in, and they've been amazing. Like, it is such a killer time to be a brewery in Prince Edward County. God damn it.
Well, I tell everybody, man, like it's a getaway for people who for people who are a little, our age, 25, 26, who want to get out and have some drinks, but also want to get to bed by 9 o'clock. And, it's honestly, it's just, we're really lucky to have like such a congregation of craft alcohol, like, from, there's like 50 plus wineries and just like craft distilleries, cideries, and then it's ridiculous. But at the same time, like, think of it as like, I'm just pumped. I love more breweries to open up, because it's like gives everybody an excuse of a place to go where they can try out a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different vibes. Like, Slake is just like this big James Bond villain lair on the hill. Like, it's just this big, beautiful place, or you can come hang out.
It's so fucking nice.
particularly downstairs.
It's painted black. You would actually think it was a villain's house.
Or you can come hang out at the back of a warehouse with AMF. You know what I mean? Or like Dune Hopper's beautiful, and Matron's got like a beautiful, cool building, and yeah, it's just like it is a real blessing, like to have that. Like it just gives people a destination where they can really get their money's worth for their time off, right?
Couldn't agree more. We did collabs with all four of you guys, and it was a fucking honor. It was it's so sick, man. Like, it's so cool to see that what you guys are doing. And you're right, you've got the wineries as well. There's some fantastic wineries and distilleries and everything. It's just like no wonder the Quebec folks come, and it's only a couple of hours from Montreal, and like it's 3 hours, whatever it is. And it's so easy, and it's like if you come during summer, you got sandbanks and the beach, and you got like camping, and you got boating, and you got like all the everything, breweries, wineries, distilleries. Like it's like a kind of a bit of a new level renaissance of the region, and I think it's just exciting, and it's cool to have even just the four of you guys that are doing all pretty different stuff. Like you get a really different experience at each different brewery with. Some of the beers are similar, but they're not. They're similar, but they're not. June Hopper does some killer haze. Slake does some killer haze. You guys do some killer haze, but they're all a different approach. So you can have very different experiences. Justin doesn't really do haze. He's got a lot more crispies and westies and things like that. And it's just like such a variety. I mean, Slake does a lot of crispies too. So there's like such a fun variety as just a visitor to the area. Maybe you guys. It sounds like you guys understand that and see it, even though you're sort of there. But just coming in there every time, I'm like, particularly in April when I came to see all you guys, I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome!" I didn't realize that like June Hopper was 8 minutes from you guys. You guys are 30 seconds from Matron, and then it's like another 8 minutes to Slake. It's bonkers how easy it is to get around to all of you guys. And
it's the beer capital of Ontario. You can go ahead and use that.
Oh, I'm putting that down. It might be the podcast.
13
breweries.
Yeah, there'll be a few more breweries. I think there's more breweries opening in there as well, which is cool. Yeah, it's a great spot. Your next move from Hamilton will be the Prince Edward County, right?
We almost did. We had a real estate agent and everything. We were like this close in 2022. And I think the only thing was our Montreal solution wasn't like we were going to live between the two, but we had like a tiny ass apartment in Montreal. I'm like, well, and we're going to Airbnb the place that we did that we got in Prince Edward County. And it was like, it wouldn't have made sense. We would have needed another larger place in Montreal. And when we moved there, shit was cheap. And then things became not cheap. So we're like, this isn't going to work. But we were close, bro. We were close. But now it's like, I don't know, Matt, are we closer from Hamilton to Prince Edward County than Quebec?
It's about, you'd be slightly closer. It's about 3.5 hours, like to downtown Montreal, I'd say. And it would be, I could get to, it depends on traffic, like under 3 hours to Hamilton. So it's close. It's
a little closer. And if you take the 407, it's probably a little quicker. Or not.
Time of day, man. Time of day. It can be a short drive or a long drive.
Fucking Ontario, eh?
Yeah.
It's fucking bonkers. But no, it's like all of that to say, I think it's a really exciting time. I'm really happy for you guys that's where you're based. Like Bloomfield is a cool city, and it's or town, whatever. There's this like, I guess historically, the county has been a little bit sort of skewed older, maybe more boomers, more retirees and stuff. And then with all of these cool businesses coming into town and a lot of folks from the cities moving into the area during COVID as well, and sort of like boosting it up and wanting those same, even just seeing Picton and just seeing that change over the last few years. I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool, man. It's like, and if you're saying there's more breweries coming as well, like, and that's always a positive thing, which is one of the only industries, maybe outside of wine or whatever, that's a positive thing. I
think in our region, the beer industry is still growing. So it's like,
and there's only 13
talking to people, like everyone's doing good this year. I know that.
Good, man.
We're working together to steal all those wine customers, man. We're going to steal
Hell yes.
all No, they're not stealing, but I feel like it's you open up to, because like I feel like the people who are into wine are happy to sit and have a nice cocktail at one of the distilleries. Um, it just kind of making them realize that they can have a nice experience with us too.
I love that. And I think we were talking about this. I don't know if we did it on the last pod or if we just talked in person or whatever about it. But like, I think that's one of the coolest things. So you guys would get a lot of folks from doing wine tours and they'd want to break from the wine and they'll come in and be like, yo, what's up? And they'll be like, and maybe they're not
We
being
we get at it. We get added as the one brewery on the tour, and I think the product helps, but I also think that like all three of us work like as owners working the tap room. We take such pride in making sure that whoever comes in is happy with what they get and that they have a good experience. To me, I've seen a bunch of drivers that like I'm almost certain they bring them in because if you're a driver and you want to get a nice tip or you want to make sure your client has a good experience, if they say, well, maybe a brewery or something, and that you can bring them to our place and they're going to get to either talk to Rob or talk to me or talk to Bill. They're going to go for the experience. They're going to make sure that those people have a good experience. So I saw us getting drawn in as the one brewery because of that.
Interesting. So it's really that kind of ownership level of like that sort of buy-in, that dedication to making sure the customer has a great experience is really like the difference. Because you probably like you sort of alluded to earlier, like, all right, instead of looking at Untappd, put your phone down here, try a sample of try a couple ounces of every fucking beer, tell me which one you want. Like
what matters. Yeah.
That's it. I feel like the customer experience, I feel like a lot of people come to us not knowing who we are, not just another stop on the tour. And it's almost fun to convert them to like, oh, they haven't had an IPA like this, or they haven't had a sour that anything like this.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it. Yeah.
It's how we stand out.
You can have the best beer, but if you don't worry about if you don't have a good customer experience, people aren't going to drink you again. And the thing is the same with you can have great branding and great experience, but the beer's meh, you're not going to get people again. And it's like these are like it's within our capability to care about all of these factors. So let's do it. You know what I mean? Like so. That's why we're always tired. That's why, I'll stay up all night with you. We can talk all night, even though, even after a long trip, because it matters, man. It matters to chat with people and see people and care.
I feel like I can really see that in the way that people respond to the brand. The amount of people that I see wearing AMF merch, whether it's the hat, the shirts, or anything like that, it's kind of like it sort of only hit me sort of as we were talking tonight. I was like, yo, like I really see a lot, and whether it's on Instagram too or in real life, I'm like, that means people are wearing your shirt in the same way. And I'm saying this specifically because I know you both will resonate, than like an other half shirt. Like any self-respecting beer, like haze nerd probably has some sort of other half t-shirt, hat, some shit like that. And I feel like if you're walking around wearing an all my friends shirt or hat, people are going to be like, yo, like, we get it. Like, yo, I see you, bro. Like, yo, they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like this like camaraderie that comes with like beer nerds who would see if you saw someone wearing a Fiden shirt or like if you want to talk about America or Treehouse or Trillium, which is a little probably bigger or like something a little more obscure. When I went to Australia in 2018, I was wearing a Monkish shirt, which is obviously a big haze brew, but I went in Melbourne, and I went where I'm from. I went to a beer bar because I heard they had a bunch of good stuff, and I was learning about Australian beer because I learned about beer over here. Went back and multiple people pulled me up. Yo, Monkish. I'm like, how the fuck do you Aussies know about this shit? You don't know about that. And like, there was like this immediate. I'm not even being. I was joking about that, but I mean, it's like, yo, okay, and you start talking because there's this middle ground that you sort of reaching immediately where they understand, like, oh, if you're wearing that shirt, you know what you're talking about. And I would argue, which is only coming to me now, that I feel like if people are wearing your merch, and people will see that if you're already in the beer nerd world, and you're like, yo, okay, This person gets it. That's pretty sick.
Want to hear a trippy story? There's a
Please.
I go to the gym a lot, and there's a bunch of people. You see the same people every day at the gym or regularly at the gym all the time. And there's one dude I see him 3 times a week. And then I was at Beer Barn in Peterborough.
Yes.
And I'm serving beer, and up comes that guy. He's like, "What are you doing here?" He goes like, "I know you're from the gym. What are you doing here?" And I go, "Well, I own the brewery." And I've seen that dude fucking wear our shirt in the gym. I've seen him wear our shirt like regularly. He's wearing our shirt. And I saw him like 2 days later at the gym, and I gave him one of these little things, and he got a good laugh. So it's like the guy was sitting there wearing, like, you're right. Like, they're proud of wearing a shirt that they think is cool, and they like the brand, and they're into it. And I thought it was pretty trippy and pretty funny that I got to be the guy going, that he was sitting there. Like, I've spotted him, worked at the gym, and he had no idea that I was part of the brewery. So it was just really funny and trippy to be like, "Yeah, man, that's us," and he just like blew his mind. It still it still just trips me out. Like, it's cool.
I guess it probably doesn't get old, no matter how long the breweries. I mean, you guys are only 3 and change years old right now, but like seeing it get to that point, as far as, mentioned in the same breath as all of the people that you started the brewery because of, must be pretty sick. Like, that, and these same breweries are collaborating with you. Like, I was the other night, like 2 Sundays ago, my friend Craig he's from Toronto, but he lives in San Diego. Shouts to Craig. He came to town to just hang out. And one of his good friends is Rocky, who's a brewer from Bellwoods. So he was hanging out. We're all getting lit, whatever. And I'd heard about him a lot, but I don't think we'd really met properly before. We were talking. I was like, man, Joe, you guys are fucking awesome. I appreciate you guys a lot, because not only did you collab with us, which is incredible, but I'm like, you're working. You don't have to do that. Bellwoods are like 13 years old. They're OGs. They're the brewery that probably the 3 of us all lined up at to get their beers, and that we're incredibly inspired by. They were the first
Many times.
Yep, bro.
I went for the first. I should say the first. I went for one of the first Jutsu releases and the first Jelly King release.
Dude, you're way more of an OG than me. I discovered them. I went there in 2012 because they were down the street, because I lived in Bloor and Ossington. Then I didn't even touch them again until like 2016, and then the Milkshark stuff started coming. I was lining up for that, and it's like, I'm like, you guys changed the game in Ontario, yet you collaborate with all of the breweries, and proudly, like all of the people who came up under you guys, who were inspired by you, all my friends, and Third Moon and Badlands and Dominion City and fucking whatever.
Well, that's my big pinch me moment was Bellwoods did a beer for our 3rd-year anniversary,
which is a great beer
at our place, and they brewed one at their place.
Yep, I saw that.
That was a huge honor for us. Bill and I went down for that brew day and got to check out it, and it brewed it down. Honestly, been like the OG,
in our
best beer in Ontario started, in my opinion.
In our first summer, I used to regularly, at the end of my my sales trip to the city, I'd have, if I had beer left over, I would go by Blood Brothers and Bellwoods and drop off beer to their staff that are working in the back room. I'd be like, "Hey, here's a dozen beers for you guys to drink," and it'd always be a Friday, and it'd be the end of the day, and I'd just drop off a shit ton of beer and just be like, "All right, see you, man," and just fuck off and drive away, like right after, just drop them a bunch of good beer and then leave. And I'm like,
I'll be a fanboy completely, but like Bellwoods was the first ones that really nailed that identity of what a modern craft brewery is. Like, even before the haze was a thing, that's the wild part to me. Like, they were like hype before.
They just got it, man. They just, yeah, you're right.
They got it. That original bottle, like, you almost felt cool walking down Oslington with
almost
those bottles.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing you could do.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever. Like, you'd be hyped about it. Like, I remember cracking like their Baltic Porter Lost River the first time. It'd be like, Jesus Christ, like, what is this stuff? Like, who are these guys?
Mine was Roman Candle. I remember.
it was almost like a content company. Like that's where it started.
It was amazing. Sorry, Ryan, keep going.
Oh, I was just saying that Roman Candle was my beer. Like that was the first one I had by them, and it blew me away. I was just like, "What is this?" And I was just like, I remember like, okay, next time I go to Toronto, I gotta get some more of that. Like I gotta get more. And I remember going back and it wasn't
the
there.
original Jetsus, man. Like, oh man, like that stuff. Like,
do you know what's funny?
I'm not saying it's not the same now. I'm just saying like the hops might not be what they used to be because that was that back in the day when it had that cat.
Different time. Dude, exactly. It was a different time. There was something about it. I remember we did a podcast with these guys in Montreal called the Wild Shack, who were these, I don't think they exist anymore, but they were like these home brewers who would collab with all the breweries. And I went to their house to do a pod back when we used to do it in person. And they had these cowboys all over the place. They were just crazy. And they showed me their cellar. And in their cellar, this would have been January 2016. And I'd been to Bellwoods, like I said, had their Belgian stuff and when I lived in Toronto, and then I moved to Montreal. And I was like, these guys had this whole cellar almost like half full of Bellwoods beer. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, Bellwoods does like some killer shit. And they do the best, like generally available haze you can get. I'm like, what? This is when I just was discovering haze and nobody did it. So I was like, okay, that blew my mind. We went to a concert at the Mod Club. And we pulled down Crawford. It was finished at like 10 o'clock. So my girlfriend and I was like, okay, we could have gone left to Bellwoods or right to Burdock. Once again, 2016. And then I was like, let's go Bellwoods. We went to Bellwoods. And then we had a flight. Jutsu, Sea Star, one of their pale ales at the time that I was telling Rocky about, and a few other things. And I could not believe my taste buds that this existed. And since then, I was just like, this is incredible. Just like you guys had those experiences that you were describing. So it was like they imprinted essentially on the three of us in some way for our beer experiences. And then seeing them reach their 13 years, reach OG status, but proudly collaborate with all of the new era of breweries that they once were as well, because they went to, Luke spent half of his time fucking in the States collaborating with everybody, which really spread the brand. And when I was going to Vermont and I had to trade beers with my friends out down there, the only beer I could trade them that was worth anything was Bellwoods. That was it. I had to go to Toronto to come back to Montreal to then go to Vermont to trade beers with these cats. It was so cool, but I really just appreciated them. I was telling Rocky, he was like, yeah, man, like, they really pride themselves on that. I just think like they didn't have to do that. They could have been, we're cooler than you, we're Bellwoods, we've been around, but they didn't. They embraced all my friends. They embraced Third Moon and Dominion City and fucking everybody else that they've done collabs with. And I just think that's one of the coolest shits, man. And the fact that Rob, you just said that was one of the pinch me. We did a bro. The only beer I've ever lined up for in my life is Milk Shark. We did a collab with Milk Shark. The only Milk Shark collab, and I pitched it to them, and I thought they were going to be like, no, sir, no, but they were like, yeah, sure, let's go. It's like, fuck off. It's so crazy. It's so cool, and I just love that like all of us are having that experience with our collabs. Like your collab with them was a Vermont IPA for your 3rd anniversary, which was,
and then we did the oat shark with them first, though.
You did do the oat shark, which is even sicker because you took the Milk Shark and then you did your own twist on it on your side.
We took the lactose out.
Yeah, and then that was genius, by the way. That was such a sick idea. And then the second collab, that's a good point. That wasn't even your first one. You've done multiple, and then
we've done a few of them now. Yeah,
the one there,
2 of these places. Yeah,
2 of these places. What was the 2 on their side?
We did an IPA with all my friends and a double IPA with all my friends. Keeping it simple, but I love that how they are doing.
I love how they do
that. The double IPA, the last one, it was. I remember for some reason they included me in the email chain, and I being a total idiot didn't realize who I was. I just replied all and said, "Hey man, we should totally do a real psychedelic label." And I thought for some reason it was at our place. So I'm like, let's just do a real psychedelic. And and I was like emailing their head of design, and they're like, I guess we can. And that's why the can came out with these really cool, funky colors, like purple and psychedelic type colors. And yeah, and that was just me being an idiot and sending an email when I didn't know who I was sending an email to.
Worked out pretty well though, eh?
Hey, want to know the first hazy beer that really got me? This is perfect timing because you're not fucking listening. The first hazy beer that really got me was when I met these guys. I started working for when Rob and Bill worked at a different brewery, and Rob made a beer in 2017 called Wave, and it was in these little stubby bottles, and that was the hazy that fucking nailed it for me. Oh, there's the psychedelic. That was fucking sweet. That is a sick can. See.
Cool.
And that's because of me sending an email.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they had the best. Their branding is so spot on.
They kill it. That double
yeah,
modal.
they set the bar for everyone.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so good.
It's beautiful, and I don't know. I'm glad that we got onto this topic because this wasn't something I really thought about talking about, but I feel like it's worth speaking about that and just giving Bellwoods their flowers for giving everybody else their flowers, for working with everybody and giving, like, because there's going to be Bellwoods fans that didn't know who all my friends were, and then they go and do that, and then now there's all these Bellwoods drinkers are going to be like, who's this all my friends I did this thing with? Oh, they're in Prince Edward County. I love Cutler County. Let me go down there.
I think that's I
come
think
into your tap room and they look up and see Bellwoods beside one of the classes, one of the beers. It's
the
it gives them a bit more confidence, probably, I would think. It give me more confidence.
I think that's like on the small scale, that definitely, like, that's 100% what collabs are about. But I also think what I've been seeing is the more people are collabing together, it stops being 100 individual brands trying to win customers, and it starts becoming a cohesive unit that's trying to win drinkers over. And it even though it might only be 2 breweries, or you might only be buying from that one, everybody's collabing with everybody, and it's happening so much where it becomes such a cohesive thing that everybody quickly learns about who everybody is really quick, because their favorite brewery is collabing with this person, and that person's collabing with this person, and it's a great way that an entry level drinker who comes in and has maybe they don't know Bellwoods, maybe they never had craft beer before they have ours, and they go, well, who are these breweries? Who are these Quebec breweries? Who's Ketch? Who's Messorem? Who are these people? And we get that a lot from our Ontario people, and we're like, you should definitely try them. And I hear, oh, I'm going to Montreal in a couple weeks. I'll go by. And it's just like, now we're one cohesive unit that everybody is just connecting everybody and pushing everybody to everybody. And it's like we're stronger together, right?
Couldn't agree more. I think that's exactly it. No other industry is like that, particularly with collabs. Like, you guys doing a collab with another brewery does not take away from all my friends. It adds to all my friends, and it adds to whoever you're collaborating with. And if you do the same thing on their side too,
and then it's the third factor of it's adding to the whole community and craft beer as a whole, man.
It's beautiful, right? Like, it's such a strange, unique thing that's just happens in beer. I can't think of another industry where this level of collaboration results in uplifting all parties. You know what I mean? It's not like there's nothing selfish about it. It's, maybe there is to the sense of, like, you guys are like, oh my God, I can't believe we get to work with Bellwoods. But Bellwoods are probably like, yo, these guys are awesome. They're super cool. Their beers are amazing. Like, this helps our brand as an OG brand who are in the LCBO and are moving at a different level and size now. So it's almost like the older school rappers like Snoop or something working with the younger guys, because that keeps them relevant. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like you all came up listening to Snoop, and then now he's going and fucking doing tracks with the new cats, and you're like, all right. And then maybe there's people who listen to the new music, hear this dude, like, oh, who's he? Oh, he's an OG rapper. Okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? So that people discover, there might be Prince Edward County people who don't know a lot about beer, who live close by to all my friends who just became fans. And then they learn about Bellwoods, as much as that's odd to the three of us to even be a possibility. That's absolutely plausible that they learned about that from you guys. And then now they go to Toronto and they go to BAOS like, yo, this is sick. Oh, this has been around since 2012. Okay, that's sick. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this beautiful like ecosystem that kind of works both ways.
Yep, that's how we do it, man. Talking about new cool breweries, maybe you want to jump to that Bad Bones one.
Is that the double or the triple?
That's the triple.
So no double, just straight to triple.
Well, you can do the double. We can do the triple and then down to the double.
You already said the triple.
You already said the triple.
Yeah.
You gave me some of this at Flowfest. I was like, oh, this is fucking fun.
I had some. Okay, you know what? I had the last out of the keg today. We just ran it on tap, right out of cans this weekend.
That's the dude Bradley Harkness from. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. From Hamilton. He's a Hamilton dude. He did the art.
That's so sick. Hang on, wait. It's fuzzy. There we go. It's super clean. Lots of skulls.
So I don't know if everyone's familiar with Bad Bones.
We have had him on the pod. Give him a breakdown in case they haven't.
Zach, former brewer at BreWskey and Dunham there, literally has one of those dudes that you need. Like, this guy has an unmatched passion for craft beer. I kind of heard about him through his YouTube channel, and ever since then,
was he the dude we met at Wood Brothers way back?
Yeah, so yeah, we met him. Yeah, through Wood Brothers. It would have been 3 or 4 years ago, but yeah, he, you know what? He's kind of, he sat down with John Kimmage from The Alchemist and got those kind of interviews and stuff.
Which I'm not gonna lie, pissed me the fuck off because I've been around.
Boundaries.
Yeah,
interesting cat, and I honestly, I was so excited to hear that he got his own thing started, and I knew he was going to hit it out of the park, and yeah, he absolutely did.
Oh yeah,
and he
came out of the gate real strong.
I'll say one of the first beers I had was his collab that he did at Back Canada, and that is still one of those beers that I'll think about. I'm like, they just fucking nailed that.
What was that?
It was like a New Zealand hazy IPA, but I'm pretty sure it had that perfect amount of like Nelson white wine or white grape kind of flavor to it. Like, beautiful. Just nailed everything I wanted. Double IPA with Nelson.
Zach don't play, man. He's such a good dude, and it was I remember when he worked at BreWskey, and I remember being like mad pissed that he got those interviews because I'd reached out to him and spoke to him, and it didn't pan out. And I saw him get. I'm like, God damn it! But his content was so beautiful. That was so well shot. It was him with Derek from BreWskey, and they were just. It was fantastic, man. It was great content. And then he was working at BreWskey, and he was really passionate, and they were really researching. Not just like on the drinking side, but how to make this stuff and how to recreate it. And then when the shit hit the fan, and I would highly recommend people listen to the pod because he talks about it in detail, but essentially his car got hit by a truck at 6 a.m. He nearly died. And that's why Bad Bones and all of the beers are named after things that, and it's a business with his brother, Dave, and both of their wives. And they were saying that their mother is like furious at them for naming the beers like Tibia and like Wheelchair and shit like that. Like, why are you gonna do this? And they just think it's funny. So they're like salt of the earth, as you described, just cool motherfuckers who care about beer. And I think it's extra cool to see him collab with you guys and to do this. It's amazing. Here for it. So this one, did you guys know Zach before you did this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So you knew him from that time at Wood Brothers, because I think he was like a consultant there or something, right?
Yeah, he was briefly helping them out. So, he had been to our brewery actually for a collab before too. So I had known about his plans to start his own thing a while back. And when I heard he was actually going through with it, I was, of course he was one of those guys that I was going to be messaging when it came time.
Well, it's exciting to know you got this great beer coming down the line even before they start making it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's and now they got their own space. I saw.
Yeah, that's it. They
I
have
saw
their
that.
own tap room and shit. Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. Super happy for them. So just to confirm, so this has Citra, Freestyle Nelson Sylvan, and Nelson Sylvan Hyper Boost and BreWskey.
Yeah, pretty much all the good stuff.
That'll be at the Freestyle Fest. I'm bringing 2 cases of that just to kind of mix it up this weekend too.
Fuck. God damn it, that's good. See, here's the thing about triple IPAs. They just kill you, but god damn they're good. Fuck. It's so saturated, man. There's so much going on. Like this, once again, it's almost like a ramped up version of what was the one we had earlier with all the Nelson? Was it the Flair? Yeah.
And that's it. I almost find it's more balanced than an IPA would be. Like, weirdly enough, the oversaturation of the hops just work well with that high ABV.
It's money. It's perfect for that. It's so intense. It's so big, fluffy, creamy. That Sauv Blanc kind of like white grape thing going on. Even the BreWskey is a nice touch because it has such a great like profile. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'm boosting. Once again, we're a few beers deep here. This almost tastes like it could be like 6.5, 7%. That's how easy this drinks. That is dangerous as fuck. Like really, this is fantastic. Did Zach come down for the brew for this one?
No, not this one either. I hate to say it, like the way the summer's going. And here's the other thing: I tell a lot of guys, like, brew days are not like we work on the recipe together, we collab on the recipes and all that. The brew day is, it's a tough one for me. Like I go in there, I have to you got to focus, you got to hit your time, like, and that's the thing. I'm about to hit my numbers. Like it's
fun.
Really hands on. So
it's fun for me and Bill.
Distractions. Oh yeah. It's been nice. They've been gone this week. I've been in there early in the morning without any distractions. No one bugging me to keg anything off. It's been wonderful. But,
well, I was saying the collabs are fun for me and Bill because Rob's out of the way, so we can just have fun, drink with the guys, and Rob can just brew and work away.
I'm sweating. Like I bring an extra T-shirt and socks to brew days because I'm sweating through everything. Yeah, it's a lot of shoveling grain. It's not glorious.
No, it's I feel like brew days are the least glamorous days that people are aware of when it comes to beer.
It is definitely Patchy Day. I'm like, come for Patchy Day. That's like a celebration where we just, we put flats on skids and drink beer for 4 hours.
Yeah,
it really is a celebration. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, which is
kind of like all the hard work's done, and now we have it all comes together.
Yeah, packaging day. That's what I learned through all of these collab. Like, we made as many as we could, but packaging day is it's better content because you got the cans like spinning on the, like Ryan, you took some sick footage for us for that one because we couldn't make the canning day, but it just looks so much better. You can drink the actual beer. Everybody else, like you said, like Ryan, like if Rob's working, doing all the actual hard work, and then everyone else is just chilling, drinking, it's sort of like it's just an excuse to kind of hang out. It's it's fun.
Craig, I think you've actually done more collabs in your one event than we have in 3 years as a brewery.
And that was
you're the pro.
Yeah.
We're about 30, 35, I think.
How many did you do?
40.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then before the 40, there was about 25 in 10 years. So about 25 in 10 years, and then 40 in
2 months.
In 2 months, which was obscene. I wouldn't recommend to anybody. It was just like it was difficult to manage. It worked out great. Everything worked out awesome. But yeah, it's a lot. You guys have gone really hard in like a short amount of time. And ours was an experiment in obscenity. So it worked out for what it needed to be. But yeah, I wouldn't do it again because I feel like it's just too much and you can't be at all the places. And I feel like being there is a part of it, particularly now post COVID. And we're sort of moved on from that as much as possible. Being there, whether it's on the canning day or the brewing day. Canning day, I think sounds like kind of more the vibe.
Man, for me, obviously, because the brew day, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of people watching me work, and I'm pretty hands-on. I don't like people getting, getting in the way. So, yeah, I prefer coming down on, and same with me going to places. Like, I don't want to get in your way. Like, we collab on the recipe and kind of process when it comes to the actual work. It's kind of like,
you want to let them do that.
I'd rather show up on the packaging day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the that's what I learned from all of these collabs was that the content is better. Do you know what? Of all those 25 collabs or whatever we'd done beforehand, none of them we'd ever turned up on packaging day. It was literally this from these ones. So like they were like, oh, this is so much better. Like you can see like the can spin off the thing and just like, yo, this just looks great. And then you can get that shit, crack that. I'm like, well, it doesn't get any fresher. So it's yeah, definitely a better thing. But the collab, why are we talking about that? Oh, because this one from the Quebecois thing, yes. So it's sort of like sometimes like that's one thing I guess COVID did was encourage people to sort of figure it out all via email rather than kind of like in person, so you can like do it beforehand. Whereas go.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like one thing I've noticed as an adult, man. Like it's like my best friend in the world. I'll see him. He lives 3.5 hours away. I'll see him 5 times a year, 6 times a year. And like these collabs are like sometimes a collab is an introduction. Like it's our meet cute. You know what I mean? It's us. We seeing what each other is doing. We think that other person's cool, and we want to hang out, man. Like we want to get to know each other. And then sometimes you get like like the guys at Third Moon, like every time we see him, it's like we sit down and have some beers, and it's a continuation of a friendship, right? And a building of friendship. And so sometimes it's not necessarily going to work out timing wise. Sometimes you're going to talk over the phone for 3 or 4 hours about a recipe, about what's going on. Like, as I said, I was sitting talking to Guillaume from the Ketch. It's like, it's, the guys were at him like, this is great. Like this. And it started off with, we like what they're doing. They like what we're doing, and we try and make a beer. And then the friendship starts from there, man. And I think that, whether you come on, you can make it, you can have leniency with your friends. You're like, oh, like we're all busy. We're all doing these things. So sometimes you're going to make it there for brew day. Someday you're going to make it there, for package day. Sometimes you're going to make it there sometime in between the two of them. And you're just going to take the time to get to hang out and to build that friendship. And I think it doesn't really matter how you pull it off and how you do it. It's that connection you're building through the whole thing that's fucking rad too, right?
I think it's probably the biggest part though, because that connection is what takes things to the next level. What allows for friendships to grow. So you could be like, "Hey, man, I'm using this new yeast. Have you? I see you've used this before. What do you think?" Or, "Yo, I need some peacherine. Can you spare me 2 ounces?"
Well, that's it. Like I'm not like doing these collabs. I really focus on finding what they do different and adding it to me, what I do. So especially with the Guillaume from Le Ketch, like he did quite a bit different than I do, and it really shows, I think, in that beer compared to other stuff I've done. And yeah, like if it's not their ingredient selection, it's going to be a process that they do, whether it's dry hop or something they do with the yeast. Always try to pick up on something, like, and I'm here to learn too. So, like the first time I did a collab with Troy, I think we talked on the phone for 45 minutes, and that's when I realized, wow, I realized why that guy is so good at what he does. Is just he really has that passion and can talk about it the way I understand, like, that makes sense to me. So it was like stuff like that, I think, is where the collabs have their value.
That's a great point. When you get to like pick the brain of the people that you're collabing with that have different processes and different end results, and you're like, I've always loved how you did that. How do you do that? And then when they share that, it's like, it's cool. It uplifts everybody. And I don't think
there's no books written about what we do. That's the thing. When you go to school for making beer, they teach you how to make that, British or German style infusion kind of, making how to make macro lagers, basically. They don't teach you how to make these weird sours that I'm doing, or, some of these, like that kind of mouthfeel we're getting in these IPAs. That's not taught in school. That's collaboration. That's experiment.
That shows how important that is then, because if you're not, if you go to brewing school, some people learn on the job as well, but like, if that's where you really learn and you really share knowledge through these collaborations, and that shows like the value of that. And like, I guess, as you're saying, like, they probably couldn't teach that in school, really. Like, how do you teach people how
maybe someday they will. Who knows? Teacher Rob in the future. Or Teacher Bob.
Professor Bob.
Teacher Bob.
Professor Bob. Professor Bob.
I would take Professor Bob's class. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'd be there.
I think I take it all the time. I think every time I'm constantly failing Professor Bob's course.
I don't think I am the guy to teach it. I think I don't know. I
don't know. You're a little humble
against myself, so it's like a weird thing.
I reckon you could do it. I reckon you could. I feel like it's
write
like
the book.
Yeah, write the book. Go I gotta actually go on Friday to judge. Who the fuck am I to judge anything? I gotta judge the Niagara College graduating classes beer thing on one of like.
Oh, I did that 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's fun, right? It seems pretty cool because we get a scholarship.
Project X or something, I think it's called.
Project Brew. Yeah, Project Brew.
Yeah, Project Brew.
Yeah. So there's like 12 beers. I'm going to go down at like 3:30, and then the thing starts at 4:30. So you go there and judge it. I'm like, okay, well, they asked me to do it. Like, I've done it a couple times before, but like only like homebrew level, like nothing crazy. So I hope I give them. I hope I do them justice. But like, they seem like pretty excited about it, like, because they're the graduating class and they get to showcase their beer, and they're going to use that to move on to the workforce and things like that, and go on. And I think it's cool. Once again, I hope I have the palate to be able to at least contribute to what they want. I don't know what styles they're doing. If they're doing some styles that like I don't know much about, then what are you supposed to do? Like, I don't know what a Weizenbock is supposed to taste like or whatever the fuck, because I don't really drink them shits. But I imagine they give you like
best, best in show, just whatever it blows your mind.
Right. So it's kind of almost more like right. So it's not as much like BJCP as much as like vibes.
I would go vibes for that kind of thing, because that's what I would kind of look for. Creativity has to have some points.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. That's actually really helpful, because I was like,
if there's something that I wouldn't have thought of and they absolutely nail it, that's what I'd be voting for.
Okay.
It hits everything I want.
Great advice. Thank you. Because I wasn't really sure how to approach it, but I imagine I was hoping they would give you like, all right, these are the tasting notes of what this beer is supposed to be. But then if you're like, oh, well, this shit's blown my mind and it doesn't actually hit these notes, but it's actually better than this, then because I imagine maybe some of them doing some sort of like blend of styles or something. Maybe they're not straight BJCP. Depends how they teach them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think in craft beer now, I think it's the creativity and the creativity and the willingness to explore. Like, you know, you got to be a master. I always think, like, you know, the lagers are a good thing, where it's like when Rob brews a lager, it's like, holy shit, you got to be a master of the tradition, but also have the ability to improvise and to experiment and to be creative. And I think, I think if you go in with that mentality, like, you know, these kids just learn the technical way to do everything. So you want to know they know that, but you also, you know, give them encouragement in the industry now. All the breweries we celebrate are ones that are the ones that are doing cool shit and experimenting and making stuff up. And yeah, I think it'd be a great thing to do.
That's a great point. I wonder if that's how they're gonna do it, because I hadn't really thought about like what the styles are. Because I was talking to the dude who asked me, he was one of the students, and he couldn't really tell me much. I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. You probably can't tell me much about what you're gonna do." But I'm like, because they maybe don't tell you who it is, who's doing what, or whatever. But I wonder if they are taking risk, throwing shit at the wall. If they're encouraged to do that, I would hope so. Because that's what beer is, no? Like when you get to a real brewery and you're working in a real professional brewery, like it's
Well,
not like everything you have to do is
that's what
BJCP, right?
That's what a lot of homebrewers do. Heck, I have a buddy who made, what has he made, the like the pea flour, like the list of ingredients he put into that beer was, you're just like, this is wild, and you try and you're like, oh my god, what are you going for here? And you're like, this is interesting, and you take a minute with you finish it, and you're like, well, good beer, man. Like, I've never had anything like that, and I think that's good, man. I think it's a good way to kind of go at it.
Mm. How do you guys feel about education like that in the school versus working in the industry? Do you think it's necessary to go to beer school, or do you think it's better to
Well,
just get a job?
from my trajectory, the way I did it is I kind of got hired on to do um, like deliveries and just like say, like, honestly, I was homebrewing at the time. That job came up at a brewery. I got in there on like the ground floor 2012. So I kind of got into like keg washing and celery work and packaging before making the jump to production. So I didn't have any formal training at the time.
Okay.
I think, you know, working with people fresh out of college, I feel like you still need that experience to. You can't make the jump from college to running a place by yourself. It doesn't teach you that for sure. You have to, you know, I would go work. You want to go work somewhere, put your 10,000 hours in before you even start your own thing for sure.
I
I ended up doing the IDB exam, Institute of Brewing and Distilling. So I have my certification in that. I did not do any classes though, but you know, there's so much content out there to consume between podcasts and books. You don't necessarily, as long as you have the passion, I feel like you can do it.
I kind of look at it like, coming from you know, having a day job in other industries. Um, the one thing maybe they don't mention in any college course or university course is like that gets you the absolute basics, and that learning is lifelong. Like, you know, working at the fire department, it's like learning is lifelong, man. Like, you're going to learn all the basics of how to do, like, you know, you're going to learn how to clean a tank. You're going to learn how in brewing, I imagine, like, I'm only guessing a little bit, but so I've never taken a course, but you're going to learn the basics, and then that's going to get you to the doors. That'll get you to the door. So when you actually start working at a brewery under someone like Rob, you're going to understand the terminology, you're going to understand the processes, but you're going to have years of learning to do on top of that to get you
It's
up to, from beginner to amateur and amateur up to pro, right?
it's a lot of, it is a lot of feel. It's a lot of adjusting on the fly. It's a lot of just experience. I'd almost say it's like studying physics to become a basketball player.
Okay.
It doesn't actually prepare you for actually going out to perform. It doesn't teach you how to, you know, run the pump so the pump, you know, isn't cavitating in a way that it's causing astringencies in your product. It's handling it's just the moving of the liquid and stuff. I feel like there's not enough attention to that brought in school. And it's, I don't know, a lot what I do is just, I'm just handling I'm like a yeast farmer, just knowing what my yeast likes at certain times and knowing how to handle it. It's a lot of feel. It is. It's a lot coming in each wording, tasting what's going on, smelling what's going on, hearing what's going on in the environment, and kind of going from that. And that's what I feel like you can't get taught.
That's pretty cool, man. And that makes a lot of sense in that it's, I guess it's an art and a science. So there's a science to it, but there's also kind of like that feel, and that feel is what probably makes a brewery. Because it's that feel that you gravitate towards as a brewer, and whoever the brewer at any given brewery, any of the ones we mentioned tonight that are exceptional are probably doing exactly that. They're like, this is it. This is the way we have to go. I got an espresso machine a couple weeks ago. And I know this is a bit of a silly comparison, but like the amount of fucking shit I've had to go through in the last few weeks to understand espresso and to try and get it right. I had to buy reverse osmosis water from this water place. I had to learn how to calibrate my grinder after 2 weeks because nobody told me I had to calibrate it, because they don't give it to you in like 0 isn't 0. 0 is 15, so you have to put it at that and then bring it back down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so I wasn't grinding it fine, so everything was watery and acidic and gross. I'm like, the fuck? And I used so many beans before someone told me that. I'm like, Jesus. Like Chris at Duran thankfully helped me and got me to the point, and then sold me some of his beans so that I was able to use it to dry it. So like even just like buying reverse osmosis water, then treating it with the third wave coffee water packets thing, which is like a minimal version of probably what you guys do, and then putting that in my machine, then trying to figure out how to get the decent espresso. Now I'm almost there, and I'm basically now trying to look at how do I get milk good. I'm like, oh, this is like really parallel to beer, because I've homebrewed before, but I never really got to the point of anything serious where you did have to treat the water. You did have to do all this stuff. I'm just like exhausted just trying to get the coffee right. So I'm like, yo, beer at scale is so crazy. There's so many things you could do, and it is based on feel. Because I was like, how do you know? I was asking people, like, if I got these beans, how do I know what they're supposed to taste like? If what's dialing in if I don't know what the end result is supposed to be? And like, no one had an answer for me. So I kind of almost feel that's what it is with beer. It's like, well, you made this triple IPA right here, and you're like, that's it. That's where it is right there. And then you guys know, as the brewer, Rob, you as the brewer, and then Ryan and Bill as the team, like, no, that's all my friends. That's our fucking shit. And you just kind of like, no, is that a fair comparison? I know it's a bit of a stretch, but it is kind of parallel to some degree.
It is. It's no one variable. It's a combination of so much, and it's what it is attention to detail, and it's I don't know. It's probably a disease also, like the perfectionist style that we do have, because we do. I think we're pretty hard on ourselves in a way too, in that way, where we kind of expect everything to go well.
Okay.
But yeah, it is.
But you still have an end result in mind.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, we are pretty meticulous. We say reverse osmosis. That's how we start everything. Like water to grain ratios, temperature, pH, wort oxidation, E cell counts. There's just so many variables that we pay attention to.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like what is good? Like the thing is like what Rob likes and what he finds. Like it becomes our. You can't teach that in school, I guess. Like you can teach what should be, but then again, like there's things that Rob does to the yeast that other people, like I've seen people come in and go, what do you mean you do that with the yeast? and it's like, whether it's stressing at the yeast or doing whatever. And you don't necessarily teach that in school. You can only teach that from having done it and seen the results and liked that result, or seen how that unique result can benefit something that you want to do. So yeah, I think I think you're onto something with the espresso, at least from what I listen to that, and I listen to Rob, and I see some commonalities.
Interesting. It obviously sounds like it's a little more, but when I say a little, I mean a lot more intense, but it reminded me of that. And I was sort of like getting pretty frustrated for a bit when I couldn't figure out, until Chris from Duran was like, "Did you calibrate your grinder?" I'm like, "No, why the fuck didn't anyone tell me I had to calibrate this shit? Why wouldn't it just be right?" And like, I don't know, this is what it is. So
it's like everything's simple on paper, but once you try to convert like that recipe to the liquid, there's all those little tiny steps in between where it can fuck up. And
totally. And then you can, one, it could fuck up, and then two, you can tweak and make it your own. And that's maybe the flip side, the positive side, whereas like, well, like when you feel like you're a dumbass, I haven't been so bad at something in a while. Like I haven't tried anything so new that I was so shit at, and it made like you lose all confidence for a bit. You're like, what is happening? Like I'm working with ChatGPT to try and dial this thing in. I'm talking to everybody I know who's into coffee, and I can't figure it out, bro. And then once Chris was like, calibrate the grinder, that changed everything. So now I'm at a point where things are pretty dope. I got the exact recipe. Chris sells me his beans and his oat milk, so I'm like, I've got exactly what the Durand formula is, and I'm able to sort of just keep going till I dial it in, and I'm pretty close. But it just sort of like painted the picture for me thinking of beer, where I'm like, well, this is a baby version of what you guys are dealing with, because there's so many less variables. Arguably, maybe there's more if you spoke to maybe a more experienced coffee person. That could be. Like,
I will say, I'm glad I got all my experience on someone else's time, because
that would have been the expensive mistakes.
Yeah, that would have been some expensive mistakes back in the day, and a lot of learning. So yeah, it is years of experience to get to this kind of. It's not just
you don't just wake up and then just make haze like this type shit.
I don't think any of the guys who do it have that. I think it's everyone who's doing it. It's because they just years of passion.
That's dope. That's really cool to sort of like just think about in a second, because maybe if anyone goes to critique or over, maybe be a little bit harsh on the beer, be like, understand that these people have been working for a long time to get to this level, and if the person who hasn't,
I shouldn't say anyone can't do it. I mean, the environment I've set up at the brewery and the equipment is what gives me I've set myself up so there should be no excuse for making bad beer with the equipment and processes that we have. So that's someplace, like some breweries I've worked at, I felt like, oh, that beer would have been good if I only had that one thing I could change. But I didn't have that option. Like having the reverse osmosis water, having, the kind of controls I do in the environment really give me that ability. So this, it's half preparation, it's half execution.
Interesting. I like that whole like concept of it. Once again, I'm looking at it with this new like lens in the last like 4 to 4 weeks of like an espresso machine owner trying to figure the fuck out, having to buy all of these different things and all this shit. I'm just like, oh, times this probably by 1,000 as far as the dollar value that a brewery has to spend, and then figure it out. And imagine you got all this stuff, excuse me, and then you do a couple things wrong, just like I'm spending all this money on this espresso and I'm pouring these shots and they're fucking watery and they're bitter. I'm like, what is happening?
Imagine waiting 3 weeks to find out you fucked up on that batch, and then having 3 other people go, Craig, we've been waiting 3 weeks for this espresso. How am I supposed to sell this espresso?
Dude, I've been thinking about that the whole time with all of this. It's the parallels are so crazy to me because I know beer more than I know coffee.
There's no room to fuck up at this stage either.
Yeah, there's no room, and I'm like,
Yeah, don't fuck up, Rob. Don't fuck up, Rob.
Don't fuck up, Rob. I believe in Rob.
No,
I believe in Rob. This is incredible, by the way. This guy, like, once again, triple IPAs are not my thing just for the ABV, but the actual experience of drinking is impeccable. This is so fluffy and smooth.
how you making out on that one?
Oh, I'm gonna have to finish this later. I'm gonna split this with Tiff. Thank God.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm gonna die. So, look, how about this? I was gonna say, how about we take a quick potty break and then we'll jump into that double.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
I do
Back in
need
1
one.
sec.
Okay.
And we are back.
Oh my God! Welcome.
Welcome back. Ryan is
Welcome back.
Now, what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hit the last IPA, which is a double IPA, after a triple IPA, which is in some circles psychopathic, but you know what? That's what we are. We're here just drinking the best beer with the best gentlemen from the best place, which is Prince Edward County. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Cursed, which this beer and this podcast is not, because we are emanating positive energy here. And this beer is as well. This is more of a, what do you call it? Tongue-in-cheek, I imagine here. This is a collaboration with the Lord's Messorem Bracitorium, 8.2% double IPA with our good mates Nelson Hyper Boost, and of course Citra. Look at that. Just a big skull letting you know what's going on. Love it. Now, this was the fifth of the five. I know we had this is the sixth beer this evening. So obviously we had Flair, which was the freestyle collab, and everything else was from the Nos Amis Québécois. This is the final beer from that series. C'est ça. Ouais, c'est ça.
It was pretty rad that we got to do a collab with Messorem. It's like I believe we went when we went there, we went to do a tour, and it took us all day to just tour their facility. Like, what kings,
So
man! Like,
big.
those guys, and those guys are just and like, for me, that was a big one, because I remember. Oh, I went to Messorem literally the weekend before the weekend before the COVID shutdown, the first one. And it blew my mind, people lining up for beer,
Yep.
having to come back on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to get their canned product. And yeah, it was so rad to get, kind of let behind the curtain on that one. Holy shit. And like, everybody there, they're just so humble, so amazing, just like real pros. They really know what they're doing.
Couldn't agree more. When's the last time you went down?
Oh, that was the spring, wasn't it?
Of 2020?
Oh, we went the spring of this year. We went down to
Oh,
Messorem.
this is okay. So you saw how crazy the operation has gotten since that.
Oh
first
yeah,
time.
that's wild.
Oh yeah, how
Nuts.
since
Fuck.
it's just really, you know what it is just I find stuff like that really it's really inspiring and real inspiring and motivational. You know what I mean? It's like you see what they're doing, and they're doing what they want, and they're doing it right, and it's really, it makes you feel good about, about being part of the industry, I guess.
I agree with that. I feel like they've kind of figured out a way to put their name on the map. Like, if I go to the States, the brewery that everybody knows from Canada is Meso. They've really dedicated themselves to the beer
You see them put
festivals.
themselves out there more than anyone these days.
Oh yeah. Like, they put resources into it, which I think is like super cool. And the fact that, like, a lot of the times, they're doing a lot of collaborations with big American breweries, but to me, when I see them collab with Canadian breweries, I'm like, fuck yeah, good. They're still remembering their roots and stuff, because they're just moving so fast. I can imagine being them and just being like, oh, everybody wants to fucking collab. So who do you choose? So to work with local guys, which means that they know of your reputation, which I think is even cooler. And the fact that you guys made 5 calls, you got 5 positive answers for the Nos Amis Québécois series. It's pretty sick.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, even since then, we've added some more friends to that list from Quebec. So next time will be definitely more.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, how we got to top all this next year. So
You guys.
Well, it's not even topping it. I think it's like we really like all these people, so we want to do beers with these people again. And but you also want to get to know the new people. So it's like there's not enough time and not enough beer. We're just gonna have to make way more beers. We'll have to double. Like Rob, you're gonna have to probably go into work after this and brew some more beer.
Well, the tanks are full, so I can't.
I don't know. I feel like you can, Rob.
I know.
I feel like anyone can figure it out. It's you.
100%.
Yeah, I like that idea, right? Is it like there's a bunch more breweries. Like we met the guys from Folklore who came. You might have met them, Rob, at the BAOS event. That they came down specifically from Quebec. I was like, yo, this is cool as fuck. That they came down specifically to come through the event, meet some folks and stuff. I was like, and they went by you guys' place on the way as well. So whether you saw them at the event or whether you saw them at your place, they definitely came by. So I think that's dope. There's so many opportunities out there. I think just between the two provinces. Obviously, we have Manitoba on the other side, or even Michigan as well. But like, it's very cool. I think we're really fortunate with what we have between the two provinces, which have much easier transition, I guess, without any borders or any of that nonsense. I mean, there's still the bullshit with the provincial stuff, which apparently is getting lifted around spring next year, last I heard.
Well, they did say Canada Day this year, and you never know. There's a lot of work to do, and I think it's nice to hear that they're trying to do it. For us, that I feel like for us that just means we get to broaden our community, right? Like there's we've had people reach out from Manitoba, from out west, from the East Coast, and it'd be who just have somehow heard of what we're doing, and yeah, definitely looking forward to whenever they manage to get all the wrinkles ironed out.
I feel that now. Actually, that brought up something that I sort of neglected to sort of talk to you guys about. How excited, non-excited, whatever, are you guys about the potential of breaking down those trade barriers between the provinces so that you're able to collaborate easier with other breweries? You're able to get your beers on shelves across the country. Like, how do you feel about that? Is that exciting to you?
I got really excited right away, and then I talked to Bill, and Bill is a realist and has great points, because it's one of those things where it's like they announced it, and with anything political, with laws and stuff like this, like it's good to see their intentions, but there's a lot of complications, like even something as little as like Quebec, they can't ship beer in the mail, whereas in Ontario we can. There's so many details to work out, so it's good to hear that things are moving in the right direction, so that we can work together and get our beer across the country. And I kind of feel like I always look at the number of breweries and so places like Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and I feel like if you have a smaller population pool, it is more difficult to invest in a business like this. So I feel like it will do some really good for a lot of people and allow us to bring our community together. But I won't truly get excited until it's actually happening, and it's been happening for a couple months, and everything's good. Yeah, obviously growing your market in any way is amazing, but we want it to happen first so we can kind of really get into it.
It
Like
makes sense. Go on, Rob. Yeah.
Sorry, for the production side, it's like, I think quality control side, it's like, how are we going to be able to ship it in a way that the products don't actually get fresh to them? So that's always a concern.
Yeah.
Like even with our exporting, we actually ship overseas cold, so everything stays refrigerated.
The cold chain
so
shipping in the plane and stuff.
Doing mail delivery out of province does have its issues, I'm sure. I don't know if there's a proper way to mitigate that. Also, just I think the increased demand is just going to make it even harder for me to have a day off every now and then. But yeah,
He doesn't need days off. Don't no, Rob. Those aren't a real thing. Days off. Like I don't even know what that is. What is that? Like
But
nobody
yeah,
wants that.
I like as much as it's exciting to hear for the business, it's also like not the as there's concerns for me. It's all good.
It's hard. It's hard to know the details and what to expect, and we're definitely not going to rush into it. We're going to do the same due diligence we do with everything. So the same way we didn't, it's taken us time to ship smoothies or get smoothies to you. Like we used our commercial, like our shipper for our accounts to get it to you. So it'll be good. It'll be a good thing. Like any opportunity to get our beer into new hands is amazing. And it may even be a better thing that it didn't like all of a sudden just take place right away. It'll give us time to prepare and kind of make the changes needed so that when it does happen, we'll be ready to be able to do a good job at it.
I love that. And I think, that sounds like kind of, I guess, what it should be for everyone, where it's like, I hope they give everyone a bit of a heads up and help everyone prep as much as possible so that the chances of being successful with this is great. One of the things that the Quebec folks brought up to me one time, I forgot who it was like, well, like, even if the federal things change, where say someone in Vancouver could order from Montreal, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like someone from Quebec City could order from Montreal and they can't ship there because internally within Quebec, they have to change their situation and the federal laws don't affect that. Whereas already in Ontario, we have that freedom, which is pretty sweet. Now we have all the, the opening with the convenience and which is here nor there as far as the value of that. But excuse me. But the that was like, I thought it was like, oh, that's a really good point. Like, if you're opening where you and the three of us could order from Messorem, but somebody else within Montreal who lives 10 minutes from Meso can't order from them online, that means that provincial governments probably have to change their rules in line with the federal rules to make it some sort of, fairness as far as like the distribution of beer across Canada, including the own province. So there's like, I've heard it's going to take until the spring. If you heard it until July 1st, well, obviously they missed that date. So
there's a lot of details, man, and I think it's good that it's not being rushed because that's something how fair is that if like what if one of the rules was they opened up partial and Quebec breweries can sell to our beer accounts and we're not able to sell to theirs, like it works there too. And we want to make sure that it's fair for everybody and it's a positive for everybody. And so it's good that they're not rushing it. It's good that it's going to take time. That's okay. Work in that direction, get us there, because when if they take their time, when it does happen, it'll be sustainable and it'll give us time to adjust to the change as well.
I love that. Sensible, logical. Are you guys excited about expanding in that way across Canada or even into the States at all? Like, is that interesting, or are you guys more sort of focused on the Ontario market?
I guess I've always kind of looked at it as, and the guys constantly fuck with me and calling me a salesman, because it is my job. But like my thing is just never been trying to use car salesman somebody. For me, it's always been, I want to go places that are already looking for what we do and showing them that we can offer them something that, whether it's an account that we can help their business, because, Bubs gets on at a beer town and it sells out in they sell a keg in a night or, in an afternoon. I want that for the business because I want the business to do well. And what I don't want to do is go into an account and have to offer keg deals, kickbacks, con them into taking it or force them into taking it or schmooze or talk them, like just make them do it. So for me, I like it because the beer market and our crowd, our people who like our product, that's going to continue growing. I feel, because as people get introduced to it, their positive reactions, it's going to grow naturally on its own. That's or not. Like we want that organic. And so to have a bigger market, the States, Europe, China, wherever we happen to ship beer, we sent a couple kegs down to Australia. I want that to be organic, and I want people to want it. And so I think having a bigger market means if we're hitting, a spot where our market's, growing at a certain pace here, instead of just sitting back and watching it, we can shift a little focus somewhere else and allow that to continue to organically grow, so that we can, and we can start working on a different market and start working in a different direction. And hopefully that makes sense. It's just like, to me, it's just giving more avenues for it to, naturally do its thing.
That makes
Well,
one
of the things I think we talk about all the time is what our advantages are, and I think being small and just low overhead kind of guys, like, we can kind of adapt. We can be more, I guess, reactionary in our decision making and how we adapt to things. I think with the product too, you get. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, Ryan.
Well, no, the thing is like, it's like, we look at it, listen, like, you can see when something works, you can hold on. Like, we have
it's the return on effort. It's kind of like what we put into what we get out. I feel like we really kind of look at it. So,
well, it's why we don't have any core, like, we don't really have any core brands. We had a few here and there that stuck around, but like, as of now, it's like, even the lager's been around for quite a while, but the pale lager is going to step out and the Czech pale lager is going to step in. And I think we're doing this because we're seeing that the customers are over, like, you can get a person going, oh, I really miss that beer. But you also see that same person overwhelmingly react excited, happy, and enthusiastic about that new product. So we can shift and do that. And I think, like, having a slower growth and knowing that we can go into these markets at our own pace and slowly grow gives us a big, like, we're able to react, like, really well. And when we see something doing well, we can, hey, let's drop one of these beers and put one of these beers on in the next brew. And Rob orders ingredients, and the next week he's brewing it. And so, this is, the new markets is going to it's going to add more of that. And we're going to continue to be reactionary as we grow into these new opportunities, I guess.
That's perfect. I love that. At least that's, it shows that you guys have really thought about all of this and seeing where things are moving and being like, all right, where can we go? Where can we double down on if need be? And the fact that you don't have a particular flagship, because I thought maybe Softy might have been
kind of around
a bit. I think we stopped that in the spring.
Okay.
It was a great beer, but the thing is we also looked at it and go, you know what, like very truthfully, like, any pale ale Rob's gonna, like, the beers Rob does are amazing. And you talk about the evolution of beers, and, like, to me, I look at it as the evolution of beers. It was a great beer, but that was a beer that was one of the first beers we put out. And you talk about how much we've grown as a brewery in 3 years. If you're either changing the recipe and it's not the same beer as it was 3 years ago, or you're letting it go for a little while and you're introducing some new stuff for people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I imagine that then people aren't, the fact that you guys aren't landing on a flagship means that there's not a particular beer that people are like losing their tits over. So,
there's lots of beer. There's lots of beers. Like, look at BB Kush.
Okay.
Well, people always ask what's the highest selling beer. I always say the newest one, because that's usually the answer.
That's a good response. It's a good answer.
And then that's kind of that was the crux of my point, was like, even if you had a flagship, it's probably more leaning towards the newest one, because if you look at someone like Third Moon or Badlands, they're doing the same thing. Or with Willowbold, they don't really have a flagship. They have the newest stuff, and that's what people want. And even if that newest stuff was released a year ago, but it's a tweaked version of it, that's still exciting for people, because I'm like, oh, nah, it's even better than it was last year. Like, fuck yeah. Like,
the market accounts, like, definitely It's just as you have to introduce and train them as to what a hazy is and how a hazy's good for sales and get them in there. Having a core brand, like you go back 10 years, a brewery had 8 core brands or 10 core brands, but they didn't do a new release. New releases were once or twice a year, and this seasonals. Yes, the seasonals. Even the LCBO still does seasonals, and this like that's how they run. It's seasonals, and I guess the thing is, and as a sales guy, I know there's accounts that loved our beer, but occasionally ran into roadblocks about understanding that about the changing of beer, that people like our brand, they're not loyal to one individual beer, and it's a bit of
I want to see what's new was from all my friends. Whenever they go to their favorite bar, they go, "What do you got new from all my friends?" As opposed to like, do you have
100%, and it makes people go to that bar, because if they know that there's an IPA tap for all my friends at so and so bar, and they go there,
30-liter keg. It moves like boom, boom. They know every time,
and they know that
it's gonna be fresh.
every week they go back, and there's a new beer there, and they're like, "Oh my god!" They get excited. It gives them a reason to go to their local pub to hang out, where they might go every couple of weeks. But if they know that our beer's there, maybe they're going to go every week, because they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go to that other bar. I really love that beer I had last week. I want to have another one of those."
And then, that beer's not there, but here's this new fantastic beer, and you're like, "Oh shit, this is even better than the beer that I loved last week."
It encourages a little bit of bar loyalty, it creates regulars, and it creates. I always think of it as we're passing the excitement for our brand onto our partners that we work with, we're invested in. Like, listen, I want to make those guys money. I want to give them a product that's going to sell through quick, that's going to get more people in their door, because we're business partners. We're working together. Like, if I'm not invested in them, they go under. I have one less account. I have one less place that my friends, my customers, can go get our beer. So I want them to do well, and this is how we try and do it, right? We try and give that excitement. We keep Rob chained in the brew system, brewing 24/7, so we can have a million exciting beers every year. We got it. Like, listen, we do this to Rob for you guys. Fucking stupid.
Rob is blowing.
They keep saying they're going to pay me.
We're going to pay. No, dude, we're going to pay. We're totally going to pay you eventually. Totally going to do it, man. Like we promised you every week.
Every week.
Checks in the mail.
It's going to rock up. It's going to be there. At the end
One of these days, you're going to look. There's going to be 3 years worth of checks.
Yeah, nice.
Just keep blowing on the fermenters and be like, "Yeah, it's ready." All right, next one. I like that process, guys. I think it's sick, and I think the way that you guys have been grown it's just, I don't know, man. Being that, and I sincerely apologize again for the 2.5 years is so crazy to me that we haven't had you on the pod, and maybe because I feel like we've seen you guys in person, and it might not feel that long, and this is not cool because your business is so dope and so important to Nate and I, as far as what you
let's blame Nate, because he's not here. Let's blame Nate for it's definitely Nate's fault that we haven't been on the podcast.
I'm gonna tell him,
Nate, it's your fault, man. It's your fault, Nate. Sorry, it's not your fault, Nate. It's probably Nate.
I love you, Nate.
It's really our fault.
Yeah, we listen. We love you. No, this is
my fault.
This has been my calendar for months, and I feel like
he forgot. It feels like you got a phone call at 8.
I do.
No, it's all good. It's one of those things, and it was my fault because I moved the pod. Rob, it was definitely my bad.
This is because of the Canadian standoff that we're in right now. Canadian standoff, guys.
Where everyone say, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
You want a double? Like, it's just, I don't know. You guys are fucking awesome, man. I genuinely appreciate what you're doing, and I hope that I sort of projected that. I know I say it to you guys probably in person, but I just feel like you guys have become and grown into yourselves and have become such an important brewery, I think, in Ontario, that you represent the best of what we can do, and you out there and you're pushing the brand, and you're like, from the liquid to the presentation to the experience in the brewery itself, and the brand experience is just exquisite. And I just think what you guys are doing is phenomenal. I appreciate you both immensely, and I haven't met Bill yet, but Shasta Bill. I don't know, man. I fuck with you guys so heavy. These beers are just so crazy. They're so good. They're so everything you do is really thoughtful. From the 420 to this, to the Nos Amis Québécois, to the Halloween. The Thanksgiving, the Friendsgiving stuff, the anniversary stuff, the week to weeks, and the smoothies, and the now the crispies and all this stuff. I feel like you're a really important part of Ontario craft beer, and I appreciate what you guys do, and the fact that you're hungry, and you go and you connect with people, and you're making relationships, and you're introducing people to craft beer, and you're really representing, you're in that place in Prince Edward County where there's just like such fire fucking breweries. And it's like, for me, as like living in Ontario, if someone comes by, I'm like, yo, fucking go to Prince Edward County, because like, you're gonna lose your shit. Because if you go to all my friends, and you go to June Hop, and you go to Slake, and you go to Matron, you're gonna lose your mind. All of these, like, I don't know. I just think it's really cool what you guys are doing, man. You guys got a great attitude. Obviously, everybody fucks with you guys. You can't just call up these 5 breweries in Quebec and get the collabs unless you're doing exquisite stuff. And that alone shouldn't be the complete cosign for why you guys are exceptional, but I think that really speaks volumes. And just congrats on everything in the last couple of years since we've had you on the pod. It's just it's been very, very cool to watch you guys grow and thrive and dominate. And the one thing that I was always pissed about is that it was either the first or the second anniversary, the first bottled stout you guys did, it never made it to Durand. I think it was the distributor's mistake, whatever it was. And me and Nate were like, I think it's the Absolution, right? Is that the one?
Abducted.
Yeah.
We're like,
there might be a bottle around. I'm sure Rob has a bottle saved we can get to.
I have 2, maybe.
Yeah. You have 2, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 2. But yeah, like, that was the only thing I could think of. I'm like, God damn it. And that wasn't you guys, that was the distributor. But it's just really cool to always go to Durand and see some fresh, all my friends in there. And it's always like moving. I can see it's selling through all the time, which means people understand the brand and people are getting what it is. And I just think that's like got to be cool for you guys to know that you've started this brand, making this style of beer in this competitive market where this, all of your friends, pun I guess intended, that are doing impeccable stuff, and knowing that people are really excited about the stuff that you guys particularly doing. So just congrats on everything, guys. I just think you guys are fucking awesome, and it's beautiful.
One thing, just everybody like you and other people just know that, like, one of the sustainability things is never to overproduce. It's better to produce just enough, right? And so we're constantly, hence why I'm so tired, we're constantly working to find ways to step up our production along with the demand, so that, the perfect world is that everybody who wants one of our beer gets a beer, and there's none left for us, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, if there's one beer left for each of us at the end of a run, and this happens every single time we do a beer, that's for me as a sales guy, that's a win, because I don't like the idea of, like, 100 people lining up and having only enough beer for 50, because those other 50 people stood in line too, and they're our friends, and we want them drinking the beer. So we're working on that. We're working on it, man. We're working to try and make sure that we can kind of do it perfectly. So
I love to hear it. So then the last question here is, what can everybody expect from all my friends moving forward into the second half of 2025? What's going on? What could be
a lot of dark lagers, some black IPAs, maybe a white IPA.
So wheat beers, maybe
So
a
definitely.
roast.
Oh, I think maybe even exclusively table beers, because I hear table beers are the next big thing.
All the kids are loving table beers, right? They're
Yeah, for the
4%.
beers for the kids. Like all my friends is for the children, right?
Just ODB.
No, listen. We're gonna keep trying to do what we're doing, and keep trying to hang with our friends and make good beers, and we're just gonna try and keep getting people excited, excited about drinking good craft beer, and making sure that everybody kind of is on board with us doing it. So
I love it. It's beautiful. I feel like you guys are already doing that, and to continue wanting to do that is awesome. I feel like you guys are gonna kill it. It's a beautiful thing. Boys, I know we're done fucking pushing 4 hours. It's really late. Rob is basically on his deathbed. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Stick around afterward just so we can wrap up and do that all properly. But this has been a pleasure. Let's make sure we do it once a year anymore. Like, moving forward, this is unacceptable. Where can everybody find All My Friends Brewery online and in real life?
amfbeer.com, I believe, and then Instagram is amf.beer. And here's the little hidden gem. I'll probably have some extra beers at the Freestyle Fest specifically for this purpose, that if somebody comes up and mentions they saw me on this podcast and heard me say they know what color these headphones are, they're light purple, I'll just give them some free beer. I'll let them drink some free beer at the fest. That'll just be on me. That'll be out of my pocket, but only if the person watched this and can come up to me and just say, "Hey, those are nice purple headphones."
First one that does it, not everyone.
Well, I'll give it to you until I run out of free beers. Until I run, I'll probably bring half a dozen or so.
At
so
every
until
festival until October 1st.
October 1st, my birthday. Until I turn 26, this offer's still good.
26, you're 25 max. Stop it.
Yeah, I'll be turning 26 though. I expect a couple gray hairs.
Yeah, they start to hit. Let's be honest. I can tell you.
I shampoo all the time. I don't know if I'll ever see them. So
you are just a gentleman and a scholar and a fucking bearded all right. We could go on. Boys, this is awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. Once again, stick around. We'll finish up off air, but thank you both for hanging out. Thank you again for everything you're doing. Really, really appreciate I don't, man, I fuck with you guys heavy, man. You guys are both individually legends, but the beats you guys are doing are really important, I think, to Ontario, and it's makes me proud as someone who lives here to be able to tell people like, yo, check this out. This is some of the stuff that we're doing out here in Canada, and it's exceptional. You guys keep pushing it forward, so I appreciate you both immensely. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash a thumbs up. Hit subscribe below, hit that notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us everywhere at BAOS Podcast. Check out the long form audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Please give us, not for me. No, not for me. For Bob, for Ribo. In Australia, they probably call you Ribo. For all my friends, for Prince Edward County Beer. And guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Boom.